The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
World's going crazy. Chat, that started at 17.00. So
I love
we passed 90 seconds. Yeah, shove it.
You're so concerned about it. The chat is going to say if you are past a nanosecond, they're going to say you're late and gay. And you know what?
So
they're right.
So it's an early and gay. So it's not as if you can actually win this war, but it's a war of attrition. Look, the world's a crazy. It's a weird place right now.
What the fuck are you talking about? This is the smoothest beginning of any year ever in the history of time. It's as smooth as the 2020 election.
No, I don't care about that. There was apparently somebody linked me into a video today. Said, "Hey, Az, have you seen this video? This guy's got like 550,000 subscribers. I have no idea who they are." They got a thumbnail.
That's YouTube. There's people with 3 million subscribers. I have no fucking. They don't know who I am.
Thumbnail. There's me on one side of the thumbnail. There's Eric July on the other side of the thumbnail.
Ebony
and Ebony and Ivory. And the title is something like "Republicans' Take on Trans Something in Disney." And this guy,
where are the Republicans?
Well, the video's like 4 days old or something. It's got like 3,000 views, and I'm just like, 550,000 subscribers, 4 days old, 3,000 views on the video. I'm British, so how can I be a Republican? And Eric July is one of the most outspoken libertarians. So how can I'm just like, well, I guess that's why you've only got 3,000 views with 550,000 subs, mate. It's a weird one. It is a weird one.
Do your homework.
Just look, if you want to slack us off. That's all good. And if in the description box he put
okay, we can be sympathetic as it.
Go on.
It's going to be tough to put in a title. A slightly center of right British man and a black libertarian from Texas. Republicans kind of is like shorter. So, come on.
Republicans. No. What I did love actually, and I did laugh, is when I saw the description said something like owned of the Rippaverse and the fucking pronouns guy.
That's accurate.
Team up. I'm like, team up? That was our 50-second fucking podcast, mate.
Hey,
come on.
Hey, you were building up to it, okay? It's not an official team up. It's been a big Az and Rippa begins.
You're
finally throwing the cowl.
You've done all the prequel stuff. Now you're into like the actual.
Well, Eric got back home one night and he turned the lights on, and I was sat in a chair in the corner of his room.
Oh no, where's this going?
Mauler, it's not a gay porno. Yet, okay.
Again,
and I just said,
that's what's lost in porn today. Is the build-up
storyline?
It's not a gay porno or a gay man accusation. So don't worry.
Yeah. We're working on that. And when he flicks the lights on, we're just gonna go, Eric, I'm putting together a podcast.
You'd be happy you're considered an Avenger of the internet, you know? Not bad.
Well, I don't know, because I've been accused of triggering Gamergate 2.0 with the Starfield
That
business.
was Dan Vask cutting out your video and putting it on Twitter. It was not you. It was
None
Dan
of us
Vask.
got monetized at all. Or made any. Well, we did some good coinage on subscribers and whatnot, but
You got a few subscribers off.
yeah,
it.
if I could go back in time now and that happened again, and I would absolutely allow Dan to cut it, but then I would take that cut and put it immediately on YouTube and
Yes.
on my own channel. But yeah, I was too busy having fun with people on the internet for a week. So hi chat.
That was very
Welcome to the real Bubba Car. As I've returned back to Angleterre. I think
the fuck? What?
Angleterre.
What's an Angleterre?
Jesus Christ.
Speak American. God.
Yeah. Most of your audience is American. Okay.
See, this is why Neil Gaiman has allegations against him.
What does that have to do with
That's not correlation.
Exactly. The voice is, thank you, lady Erin. The voice is getting a little better. It's getting better every day, a little stronger every day.
Oh my God, what a pussy. He's been dragging this thing out for 3 weeks.
I haven't. The virus has. The virus of unknown origin has.
Oh, you're such a victim.
blaming the virus? When do we hear from the virus? What is the virus's opinion?
Gary, just because I called you a sexual predator before we started the show is not a reason to
Always
start
blaming the victim.
I was finishing off the police report. and if for some reason the opening credits did start a minute late, it's because this professional podcast, which has been going for nearly 5 years, Gary, 4.5 years.
Oh, I don't know.
Somewhere along those lines, of, let's say 4 and a bit years. We were discussing what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, you mean we started this to be it's a comic book live stream where we're going to bag and board and talk about new comic books, and they got so shitty that we both quit new comic books and just started talking about old ones and everything else. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I did, Razorburn. Yes, I did. My Lego Tudor Corner. So welcome to the Real BBC, everyone. Episode. As ever, I am joined.
Count that someday.
I know, somebody should. X-Ray Girl.
Yeah.
Get going.
Get on it.
Get your producer on it. How many-ish episodes have we had? I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Somebody do that. So as of welcome to the Real BBC. Let's go. Molly, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Mostly getting back to a lot of work. Writing, clicking, editing, blah, 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 blah. Because the metal's gone now. We had some big old fun times. You know, something we watched, I decided to check out with him was back to back, the classic Wicker Man and the remake.
Oh, why would you do that?
Because I was curious, and it's kind of funny because if all of that happened today, it would almost stand out as a remake because the only thing that's hideously wrong with it really is just how
Nicolas
badly
Cage?
done it is. Well, what I mean is like you can watch it and just be like, how did you make all of these horrible decisions like in relation to the original? There's no like connecting thing of you'd have to go read the fucking wiki to understand why the hell they changed everything.
The bees.
That didn't even make it into like the final version. Do you know that?
Didn't it?
That was in the theatrical, I'm pretty sure, and they cut it for the full release. I think it's because it's part of a scene that's they consider too violent, or it fucked up like the ratings. He gets his legs broken, if you remember. I don't know. It was awful, but the original's fantastic.
Yeah. With Edward Woodward.
It's kind of sad that they
Christopher Lee.
I saw some discussions on it, and I kind of felt from it the fans of the original were really fucking pissed at the new one, not because they were hoping it would be so bad it doesn't do anything in terms of people's perception of the old one, but that fucking meme of Not the Bees is so popular that it like that's the first thing everyone thinks of when they think of the Wicker
The
Man.
Wicker Man.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And it's just like, God damn it, it was so bad. It crossed into being, celebratory meme value. And it's a bit of a shame because, yeah, the original captures a very specific kind of horror that I thought was awesome.
First one is a great. If you haven't seen the original with Edward Wood as Christopher Lee,
It's also
you should definitely check it out.
it's funny. You need to sort of see it to understand. It's like the archetypal movie for that. It's almost a genre in of itself. Like person goes to distant place, a whole town filled with creepy, weird people that seem almost normal, but there's something off. And then gradually across the whole movie, you start to understand better and better. The Wicker Man's like the best one of that.
If they made that film today, it'd be called California.
But they wouldn't be able to hide it. Like, it's not, you go in there immediately like, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God.
This person, yeah, this person, where have I gone? Have I been taken to another dimension? Somebody's just like, no, it's you crossed over to California, mate. Oh.
And I remember I was doing some Googling. I think Christopher Lee said about the remake. He was just like, why? why are they doing that? And that the original Wicker Man is like one of the best movies he's ever made. He felt it was pretty cool, considering he's made a shit ton of bangers.
Yes,
absolutely. And that guy lived a real life as well. I think we discussed it before on the show, but he's lived a real life. Good to have you, sir. Gary.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. I am bagging and boarding.
Yeah.
Yes, I remembered I'm on a live stream. Like at a comics division. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Comics division. How you doing? Good.
Good. How are you?
Great. Ryan, how you doing?
Yeah. Bagging and boarding some books. Released a video yesterday, which was fun to make, and was up till 2 a.m. Working on my office in my research library.
Hell, the Celtics Oscars, they're at the Ripper signing some Blood Ruth.
Oh.
It's the final week for Blood Ruth chaps and chapasses. So reverse.com, go get your bloody Ruths and your Yaira 2s. Other than that, Mr. What you been up to? Anything fun?
No.
Okay.
Great. Well, this is why they tune in.
No, this is why the show exists. We're trying to cheer them up.
We're trying to cheer them up. Actually, a lot of stuff has happened today. Well, in the last couple of days in the comic book realm for this comic book show.
Oof. Well, I mean, where'd you start?
Well, there's Diamond Comics distributors going bankrupt.
And
I'm smiling.
What do you mean?
I'm smiling while I say that because I have a history. And we'll discuss it later.
A company that could barely function with no competition.
Yep.
So when competition came in, didn't take them long to fall apart. What a fucking surprise! Yeah, so we've got that. Neil Gaiman. More. Let's get to this Neil Gaiman stuff to start with, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the discourse around it.
Yes,
interesting.
This week, kind of like mainstream have really got their hands on this Neil Gaiman stuff. More allegations have been made, and I want to stress that they are allegations. Have been made about Neil Gaiman, and
I think it's
ladies
to point out his part in the culture war too. He's been quiet of late. And now we're finding out why he's been quiet of late.
Male feminist,
but male feminist Neil Gaiman goes back to the Sad Puppies era, which predates Gamergate, predates any gate you like, predates us. It predates the pop culture war, predates everything, and we could discuss that. He was involved with the Sad Puppies thing. He was definitely going after the customer movement that was Comicsgate back in the day too. Like I said, and then going after last time he started piping up was when Sandman came out and people were talking about the death race swap.
It's funny. that actually Jordan says this because legitimately, I'm not even dicking around here. Name me something good that Neil Gaiman has done apart from Sandman.
Some people will say Good Omens. But that was with Terry Pratchett.
Right.
That was Terry Pratchett.
Well, 'cause I had
Books
this
of Magic.
conversation with Friggy yesterday. He was like, "I don't actually know anything offhand from Neil Gaiman that I really, really like." And then I was like,
He's got his fans, right? So he's got like the Neil Gaiman
Sure.
group of fans that absolutely love everything. American Gods too. So American Gods, which he did on his own. Good Omens, he did with Terry Pratchett. Books of Magic, but like outside of that, like he's lauded as this seminal author, and I think he's just more of a cult of personality. I'm not gonna dismiss like Sandman's impact on the comic book industry. It was fucking huge. It was a best-selling comic. It got more girls in the comic shops than anything ever. And
why was that, Gary? Why was that?
Because of the
Because
story.
of which character?
Which one?
In Sandman,
In
particularly.
Sandman?
Yeah, you couldn't move in the 90s for women dressed up like Death.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Death was part of it. Yes. But it hit the zeitgeist at the right time. It was during, it was goth, but yes, it was Death was definitely, and that's the character, the most recognizable character from Sandman was Death, and then they race swapped her for the show. So there you go. But yeah, it brought a lot of girls into the comic shops. It did. I never liked the story that much. I thought the art was really good, but it was just never my cup of microwave tea, to be honest.
Oh, why?
It was a little too pixie and fairy dust for me. I'm more of a preacher guy, you know. Garth Ennis.
Do I have it? Have it.
I'm getting.
I'm trying to pick up Garth Ennis's James Bond to see what that's like at the minute. Speaking of Garth Ennis,
he did 2 Doctor Who episodes, by the way.
Garth Ennis, Neil
Yes,
Gaiman
he did. Yeah, he did.
Well, he brought in fucking female Time Lords, so I mean, female regeneration. So
yeah, but the Doctor's Wife was a good episode. That was a good episode. The second one wasn't very good, but and he complained that it was a 2-parter. That
yeah, but the doctor at the time, the Doctor's Wife is fine if you put it in a bubble.
Yeah,
but they didn't put it in a bubble. They ran with it, and now look where we are.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Doctor Who. And remember, Neil Gaiman was back in the 90s. Was a guy that got himself a PR team. So
Yeah,
when you say cult of personality, you're quite correct, because a lot of it was like manufactured from the
absolutely
from the PR team. Yeah. So he was ahead of the curve in that respect.
Yeah, there was Stardust. Actually, the movie wasn't terrible, by the way. The movie back in the day, Stardust.
Yeah, I remember liking it, like for what it was, I guess.
For what it was, yeah. But like he's not J.R.R. Tolkien. He's not like but he's lauded like he's like one of the great authors of our time, and that's just not the case in my opinion. I just think and you're right, he was one of the first, I think, maybe outside of Stan Lee being his own PR machine, but out of that next wave that came out of that era, that Vertigo era, he was the first to have a full-on PR team, like a machine, an apparatus behind him. And now we know why. Lots of smoke around this smoldering fire for decades and decades. I'll say decades, since since the late 80s, early 90s.
I know people hate it when we get cryptic, but we have to be cryptic because sometimes people talk to us and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Gary and myself, both of us have had conversations with people within the comic book industry that have spoken about Neil Gaiman. Particularly, I mean, what we seem to get from them is that he's always had an eye for the ladies. He's always had a little bit of fun with the ladies. He's always chased the ladies. He's always been a naughty boy, inverted commas. But anything other than that, no.
Yeah. It's always been rumors, but yeah, the rumors have never been anything other than like he likes to bang groupies, basically. That's it. And I don't begrudge especially a comic guy or gal, whatever.
There's a lot that try, some succeed, some not so much.
Maybe this new article went a little further, but yeah, innocent until proven guilty, as always. But
yes,
massive male feminist. Just pointing that out, Mr. Male Feminist, as our friend, the homosexual man, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers says, those who preach the most have the most to hide.
Have the most to hide. Now, what was also interesting before we go into this article is just so you got full context, guys, is these details came out a year or so ago.
Yeah. So the details came out over a year ago, and this has been known within the industry by everybody known through rumor and innuendo, and yes, there is some firsthand knowledge.
And they tried to bury it.
And they tried to bury it, and they did for a long time.
But now but now it's gone mainstream. There's nothing they can do to control that. They were controlling the narrative. That's gone. Yes, he was married to Amanda Palmer. I think Gary said they're now divorced now.
Yeah, and I'm guessing it was just an open marriage. I'm
sure that Neil Gaiman himself has stressed that it was an open marriage.
Yes,
I think he's been interviewed and he said that he has
an open marriage. I think he was hoping Amanda would develop a relationship with a razor, but that never happened. Give myself one for that. Woo!
She needs a fucking Flymo for Christmas, not a razor.
Needs to trim the undergrowth.
I mean, if it's up, I mean, just if we're up here, then God knows what's. Anyway, male feminist, male feminist. Anyway, so yeah, the comic book industry have known about this for a long time. They ran damage control. They covered it up as much as they possibly could. The allegations just wouldn't go away. It was like trying to keep a dam from breaching, and they couldn't keep this dam from breaching. Now it's all over the mainstream. But anyone that classes themselves as a male feminist might as well just say sex offender. But
well, I mean, there's here we share this real quick.
Okay.
Before you do that, let's put up this tweet from Neil Gaiman back in 2018.
Oh yeah. It's been going around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On a day like today, it's worth saying, I believe. Oh my God.
It's like, soon as he put this out, it's like, oh, this motherfucker's got skeletons in his closet. Whoa.
Jeremy, if you are by any chance watching this live, I will happily send you the link just so you can say, those who preach the loudest of the most to hide. On the day like today, it's worth saying, I believe survivors. Men must not close our eyes and minds to what's happening to women in this world. We must fight alongside them for them to be believed at the ballot box and with art and by listening, and change this world for the better.
And his wife of the time responds right below him, thank you for this amazing feminist as fuck husband. All men, all women, all artists, all hands on deck. This is getting serious. We need everyone.
There's the person just ironing their face.
You guys never seen that before? The Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, that's July. That's July of last year.
Classic.
Because of course it came out. His shenanigans. Oh, fiddlesticks. Neil would say. Oh, fiddlesticks. Let's just go through this. The real BBC going through a fake BBC article.
Oh, yeah.
Neil Gaiman faces more sexy time
Allegations.
pokey allegations.
Allegations.
Best-selling British author Neil Gaiman has reportedly, well, he's not reportedly, they have actually accused him, so it's there is accusation. Being accused of sexual misconduct by 8 women, including 4 who previously spoke out. The fantasy graphic novel and science fiction writer, whose books Good Omens, American Gods, and Sandman have been adapted for television. But yeah, this is worth noting. Is this one of the reasons that you think Neil was protected? Because a lot of people in the industry thought that he was their boy to get them, in front of people like Amazon, in front of people like Netflix, etc.
I mean, why does anybody get protected, right? It's all usually power and money.
Yeah. Yep. And because his stuff has been made into TV shows, all of these been made into shows, he has an avenue in for them.
He was considered an authority by many, being able to say, I know Neil Gaiman was a big deal, even with comic book retailers. They really love to talk about it, the ones who were buddy with them. Yeah, he was a very influential guy within the industry. Until people got to know him, and then you'd see how people always like distance themselves afterwards for some reason.
Yes, for some
it's like Neil Gaiman came in and wrote a couple of good Doctor Who episodes. Why were they just not enthusiastic to bring him back? I wonder why. But Good Omens, by the way, is done. They cut the production. As you and I know, that both Marvel and DC canceled projects quietly that they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Gaiman recently, and then Sandman 2 is going to come out though. How are they going to do that one? That one's going to be they're gonna drop it like it's hot and leave it alone. Yeah, it barely got a season 2 anyway, right? So, and it's really expensive, and I doubt Netflix is going to want to deal with this.
No, and like you said, yeah, we know we have heard that everybody involved with Neil Gaiman has just gone
abandon ship.
We seem to have lost him. Oops, sorry.
Oopsie.
Yeah. The article, which details fresh claims made against him, based on interviews with 8 women, follows last year's release of Tortoise Media's Podcast Master, which reported the initial accusations. Gaiman's representatives have denied the allegations, telling the US publication that he and the women had engaged in consensual encounters. In July 2024, Tortoise Media reported that Gaiman had been accused of sexual assault and released a podcast series which covered allegations made by 5 women. On Monday, New York Magazine and its website Vulture reported allegations from 8 women, 4 of whom also participated in Tortoise's podcast, claiming to have had similar experiences with Gaiman. One of the women who had been babysitting Gaiman's 5-year-old child, this is one of the original ones as well, I believe, alleges that he offered her a bath in his garden before joining her in the tub naked. Sorry, can I just stop there?
Yeah.
Right. You're a nanny in somebody's house, right? And the person in the house says, do you want to take a bath? Clean yourself up, relax. That's great. The bath is in the garden. Sure.
In the UK?
The secondary bath, yeah.
I mean, that's a good point, Gary.
In the UK, I mean, like, okay, if the bath is in the garden in like Arizona,
I'm not defending Neil Gaiman here, but when he's saying there's the bath in the garden, there's like
a jacuzzi, sure. It's a hot tub, maybe
I don't know. I don't know. It says a bath in his
Well, I
garden.
mean, I think you'd want to stop with the not the bath in the garden, but the getting naked into the bath with you. That might be
It's probably got a roof on it or whatever the fuck.
We are conserving water.
I love where fucking nerds were like, why is your bath in the garden?
This is the plot hole.
Is this the plot hole? No, that's my anus.
Bath of the roof. I mean, like in like a little fucking thing for it. Like it would just be in the middle of the garden. Like,
I know.
Yes.
It's just on the grass.
I imagine it like in the middle of like a flower bed or something.
Yeah.
And you got to walk over like roses.
Just tripods and video cameras pointing at it. And
You're like, this is an odd bath.
everyone who visits, he invites them to
Yeah.
bathe in the garden. It's got mind the cameras.
Studio lights.
Why do we have to wait till the golden hour to shoot? Like, what's going on?
The golden shower?
The golden shower hour.
Okay.
The golden shower hour.
He joined her naked in the tub, asking her to sit on his lap. And then he sexy wait, hold on. If you're in the bath and you're both naked and he says, sit on my lap, and then you do, and something happens, I don't think you can call that what you want to call that. That does come across as consensual.
So, yeah. We're looking for the non-consensual. So they're saying this bath was not consensual?
I mean, this is saying he said, have a bath. He joined me. He made a pass at me, and I accepted it.
Okay.
That's what that says. While the article states that all of the accusers had at some point played along with Gaiman's.
Yeah.
So they all consented until they didn't.
Well, that would really depend.
Oh,
how
this
they contextualize in that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the gray, murky waters of. This is not. I'm just saying, this is not doing women any favors in the slightest. When you say that you did all at some point consented with Gaiman's desires to some extent by calling. What? I'm going to need to read this whole sentence again based off what's coming up. While the article states that all of the accusers had at some point played along with Gaiman's desires to some extent by calling him, quote, master. What the fuck?
What's wrong with this dude?
I only get my mods to call me master.
Yeah, only my wife calls me master. So
Only Az calls me.
Yes, master. And continuing to communicate with him, the women allege that consent and specified BDSM activities, which they say took place, had not been discussed and agreed upon prior to them happening. Whoa. Wait, hold on. Right, so he didn't stress it in advance, but when you got there, said, "Hey, are you into a little bit of this?" And they went, "Yes, master." This is not.
feels like there's something missing.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of pieces of this jigsaw puzzle not presented.
I think the biggest takeaway, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
is the male feminist, Neil Gaiman. Not that much of a male feminist, really. Or, you know what? Is absolutely a male feminist, 100%. Depend on how you look at it.
Dude, Gleb, I am going by what is written down. I'm trying to be impartial. I got no dog in this fight. I'm not a Neil Gaiman fan at all. I think he's a pompous prick. And I don't think he's that talented. And I think he's highly overrated. But that's just me. But I have to go by what the article says. And actually, you're going to put you in timeout because you just can't stop putting caps locks on something. So I'm going by what the article says. So There you
The
go.
thing about like at some point all of them had provided some form of consent or signal. It's like that's really not useful for anybody in
No.
any way because it's like in what, how, and when, and what was it, and you know how it works. You can consent to X, but then something else can happen. You can be like, whoa, that is not, you know. But that's the problem with accusations. They're often very blurry. But if you read some of the worst stuff, which unfortunately I came across on the old twat, then it gets a bit worse in terms of context.
If you find it, bring it up, and I'll go through it. We'll after this article. Gaiman's hold on. Yeah. Gaiman's representative previously told Tortoise that the sexual degradation, bondage, domination, sadism, and masochism may not be to everyone's taste. But between consenting adults, BDSM is lawful. I mean, that is an accurate statement, yes. The BBC has contacted Gaiman's representatives for further comment. A police report accusing Gaiman of sexual assault was made in January 2023, but the investigation was eventually dropped. Since the allegations first surfaced, several of Gaiman's film and TV projects have been affected. Yes, they have. Season 3 of Prime Video's Good Omens will now end with one 90-minute episode, with Gaiman no longer involved in the production. Disney's paused production on its film adaptations of another Gaiman title, The Graveyard Book, while Netflix has cancelled Dead Boy Detectives, although it's not clear if this was related to the allegations. Season 2 of The Sandman is still expected to be released this year on Netflix. However, as well as Prime Video's series adaptation of Nancy Boys. The BBC has contacted Netflix, Prime Video, and Disney for comment. Leeds Playhouse is hosting a musical adaptation of Gaiman's dark fantasy horror children's novella Caroline from April. It told BBC News in November it was moving ahead with the project. The venue has been approached for response to the latest allegations. Headline, which has published several of Gaiman's works, declined to comment on the allegations against the Portsmouth-born author. So that's what the BBC have said. Morley, have you got any of these Twitter things?
Broadly speaking, it's the descriptions of what happened with certain people and him. So I don't even know if you really would want to read them anyway. It's that's the broad story, of course, what you just covered.
We can too. Are you up for that, Gary?
Sure.
Some specifics. Grab one.
Keeping in mind that this is Twitter.
Yes.
And like as it, I am.
Well, I don't mean that they're tweets. I mean that I saw the.
Okay.
Like on Twitter, I saw the screenshots or whatever.
Is that from the New York Magazine article?
I think it might actually be.
Yeah. In that. Yeah.
Is that the big original one?
That's the one that went around yesterday. Yes.
Yeah. If you bring that up, we'll go into that.
The New York Magazine. Yeah.
I don't see the new.
The side of Neil Gaiman his fans never saw. Was that it? I came out yesterday, so it probably is.
NDTV, USA Today, Hollywood Reporter. I don't see New York Magazine. So if you can find the New York Magazine one, I'll happily go through it.
I don't know if the link I just posted is right or not. If you want to give it a look.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at this one, shall we?
I got the New York Magazine one. Did you get it?
I think New York Press Room.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, let me bring this up. Let's have a look. It's the one, Gary?
That seems to be the one, yes.
The side of Neil Gaiman his fans never saw. The sadistic power games of fantasy author Neil Gaiman. Okay. Boobies. In the latest issue of New York Magazine, features writer Lila Shapiro takes an in-depth look at sexual assault allegations against Neil Gaiman. The acclaimed British fantasist and author whose work has sold more than 50 million copies worldwide, blah, 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 blah. In reporting the cover story, there is no safe word. Shapiro spoke with 8 women who shared allegations of assault, coercion, or abuse by Gaiman, including Scarlett Pavlovich, who worked as a nanny for Gaiman and his second wife, Amanda Palmer. Gaiman, through his representative, said these were all consensual encounters. Here, Pavlovich tells her own story in disturbing detail for the first time. Allegations against Gaiman first came to light last summer in the podcast Master from Tortoise Media. Shapiro says that the contrast between Gaiman's public persona and the allegations caught her attention, and that she sensed there was even more to the story to tell. She's followed Gaiman's career and work since she was a teenager. She previously wrote an encounter with Gaiman and Palmer at the Coney Island Mermaid Parade in 2018. Gaiman has for decades described himself as a feminist writer, quote, "He is someone who spoke specifically to women, who women felt seen by." Male feminists, it's just call them sexual offenders. That's it. Yeah. That's the byline of male feminists, just FYI. And who women felt safe with. So I knew immediately there's a dissonance between who he says he is and these stories, says Shapiro. Gaiman had a reputation as not only one of the greatest modern comic book writers, but one of the first to attract a large female readership, as Gary had mentioned before. Many of the allegations against Gaiman involved domineering violence, a feature of BDSM, quote, "a culture with a set of long-standing norms, the most important of which is that all parties must eagerly and clearly consent to the overall dynamic, as well to each act before they engage in it," as Shapiro writes. She says that 7 of the 8 women she spoke with told her they had no interest in BDSM, though at some point they played along. The defining feature of BDSM is consent, and there's actually more emphasis on consent than outside BDSM. If just one party consents, then it's not BDSM, but abuse, says Shapiro. In January 2023, Pavlovich filed a police report alleging stuff against Gaiman during the time she was working as a nanny, though the matter has been closed, according to a spokesperson, spokesman, spokeswoman. His career has been marginally affected, though he has new series and seasons set to premiere on Amazon Prime and Netflix this season. An ugly divorce and custody battle with Palmer is in its 5th year. 5th year?
Oh, they got 3 more years to go, according to Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So,
the piece also explores the breakdown of Gaiman and Palmer's marriage during the same period that many of the alleged assaults took place, as well as what Palmer knew about the nature of his relationships outside their marriage. Elsewhere in the issue, Kerry Howell writes a first-person account of the Los Angeles wildfire. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, and if I want any more, I've got to sign up or subscribe or something.
So we didn't hear any like this. You know what? So apparently there's some pretty bad descriptions out there.
Yeah.
There's some pretty bad descriptions out there. And it's an ugly personal domestic matter. And as an objective observer in this, with no dog in this fight, I've got my popcorn out looking at a proud male feminist who was preaching it all the fucking time go down in flames. And you know, would mix it up with the customer once in a while. Especially he got really butthurt over the people calling out the Sandman recasting and what they did with Constantine and Death in that show. Yeah. So there's that. And then there's the people comparing him directly to Joss Whedon, although I would argue Joss Whedon, another famous male feminist who was not or was, again, depends on how you look at it. Some of the stuff coming out about Neil's a little worse. if it's true.
The thing about the Whedon ones is people are still confused over what was fully like even accused of him. You know, like the interpretations of what Michelle Trachtenberg said.
Yeah.
So like, you know, people will run away with it a little bit when.
Didn't Michelle say, just for the audience's benefit, didn't Michelle say something along the lines of she had to have somebody present when Whedon wanted to talk to her? She wouldn't be
She couldn't
alone
be
with him. Yeah. I thought that would have something to do with her age, but
well, so, again, that could be seen in a couple of ways. But I mean, along with any and all accusations of his misconduct, they're all like him being an asshole. They're not really sexual allegations in any way, shape, or form. The thing is, that one said vague enough has set people on the path of thinking that he's like similar to Gaiman, I guess. And the fact that obviously he didn't say anything to counter any of it, so there's nothing to work with there.
I think there's big differences with Whedon and Gaiman in terms of the allegations. Whedon had racism because he wanted the guy to say "booyah" and screamed at him, which seems to be something that Whedon does, is scream at people on set.
Yeah.
Other than that, Whedon's accusations seem to be he's a bit of a wanker.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Gaiman has had a history of this sort of thing for 3 decades or more now, nearly 4 decades.
Yeah.
Certainly since the early 90s.
And the bigger story is how much he was protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So amongst their rules, okay, not mine, not their rules that they have set up, and who is they? The comic industry, the artists who have canceled people at the drop of a hat over politics. Gaiman, the male feminist, was doing stuff that we would argue go against the whole Me Too thing. Again, there were rules, and they weren't saying shit while they were saying it about other people. That's the biggest story here, is how much this was covered. Has it been reported on yet by Bleeding Cool or Comics Beat, the blogs?
Didn't Bleeding Cool?
I think Bleeding Cool
initially tried to run interference for him at this very start.
I think, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure.
Like Rich Johnson, human piece of shit, tends to do. In actual fact, I think a lot of them didn't. I believe that Alex DeCampi was involved with Amanda Palmer's earlier stuff. Now, what does that? Alex DeCampi has a very specific reputation. Actually,
She's got a body count.
We can say this, can't we? Alex DeCampi, chat. We don't like her. I say we as in Gary and me. Morley hasn't got a clue because he's not a comic guy. And that's okay, and we love Morley. But from what we hear, Alex DeCampi is one of the most hated people in comics internally as well.
Yes.
Just despised.
Yes.
Person within comics, and also Alex DeCampi was heavily responsible for the "I promise not to rape my employees" from DC.
Yeah.
And then immediately when all the fucking idiots like Tom King and whatnot signed it, immediately said afterwards, "It's not enough. It's not enough." Why so hated? Because she's a piece of absolute dog shit. She's been a part of this whole Whisper Network business. She's been working to rip people's careers apart, sow the seeds of allegations, etc., etc. Pretty fucking despite. Bleeding Fool did a really good article a few years ago on the Whisper Network that went into a lot of it. A lot of them involved. So all that kind of linking together, Neil Gaiman, Alex DeCampi, kind of does not surprise you. Does not surprise me in the slightest.
And allegedly, out of this Whisper Network came coordination to go after other creators and fans.
Yeah, the big one, of course, being what's his name? Creator of The Authority.
Warren Ellis.
Warren Ellis, yes. Warren Ellis, of course, who was apparently girls thought they could suck talent out of his penis, and and when they couldn't, got big mad and blamed him for it. Of course, the whole Ed Pisker business, and he named her. He named Alex DeCampi in his goodbye letter, shall we call it?
Yeah.
Which is just an absolute tragedy. So there's a lot of disgusting fucking business going on in the comic book world. Surprise, how many people are surprised? Nobody.
Hollywood in general, right? The whole like over the years, there's so many open secret people. Gradually been getting them all, but there's still plenty left. There's probably going to be plenty more.
Yeah.
Oh, and then remember that when Ed committed suicide, Alex DeCampi was invited or nominated for an Eisner.
Yes.
Then the sister, was it the sister of Ed, was invited to go along to the event as well to accept, some sort of tribute for.
Yeah.
What is going on? Just, what an industry.
Mm.
And of course, the industry closed ranks around Alex DeCampi when this went down. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Zoe Quinn. Zoe Quinn's got a body count, and I don't mean the amount of people that she's fucked. She's got a body count. This is pretty fucking disgusting stuff, and that's why sadly, you might have an opinion chat on people like Game, and you might have an opinion on other people. But this is why you got to keep as open a mind as possible. And that's not defensive gaming in any stretch, way, or form. Particularly from what I heard, the guy comes across as a fucking sleazebag. It's just a matter of people having their careers absolutely annihilated, rightly or wrongly. And unfortunately, a lot of this business has been wrongly with a lot of these guys. But yeah, Morley, is you might as well take comics and just interchange it with movies, interchange it with TV,
I mean, the crazy one. There's plenty of crazy ones. Obviously, Harvey Weinstein, the king of it, I guess. But the like Bryan Singer, the fact that it was just common to be like, yeah, don't let your kids alone with him. It's just like, that's terrible. Like, that's even just something that everyone's casually doing on set. That
it still lives in Israel to this day.
Yeah.
Fleeing those allegations. Yeah, Bryan Singer fled to Israel in 2019 or 20.
Isn't that where Brett?
Yeah, two X-Men directors are in Israel for allegations. But and again, Bryan Singer.
When you go to Israel to be safe,
I know.
It's
on an extended vacation.
Brett Ratner, that was it.
Brett Ratner, yeah.
Both of him and Singer ran away to Israel for safety.
Yeah.
Polanski?
He was in, where did he go? France?
Is it France or Italy? Is it one of the two? France, I think.
Yeah, Italy would send him over right now.
You think?
Oh yeah.
It is France. It is France. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fun industry, eh? What a fun industry. Bryan Singer broke Ellen Page. No, I think Bryan Singer broke a lot of young little boys. I think that's what he broke, a lot of young little boys on set. Fun times. should we just briefly go through his Diamond business as well?
Oh yeah. So yeah, briefly, so Mueller doesn't get too bored.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
We'll get you stuck into this, Morley, soon. Diamond distribution, filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I should probably pull up an article, huh? Diamond. God, we don't want to pull up Bleeding Fool, do we?
No.
So, yeah.
No.
Diamond comic.
But the what was once upon a time the only distributor in comics who could barely stay afloat, being the only distributor, when it got broken up into multiple distributors within just a few years, suddenly Diamond filing for bankruptcy.
Well, this isn't much better. It's Gizmodo.
I'll take Gizmodo over Bleeding Cool.
Why don't we do Business Wire? Although they word it a lot differently, but it's bankruptcy. It's Chapter 11. So
Chapter 11, yeah.
Yeah, it's reorganization and is
that when you go into administrate what we would call going to administration here in the UK?
Yes.
So you can fight your way out of administration, but normally when you go into administration, it's almost a death sentence to bankrupt.
Can we point out that Big Chief Studios did not go into administration? They just dissolved and stole a lot of money from Doctor Who fans. Russell T Davies has never talked about that. Yeah, they stole tens, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars from Doctor Who fans. Not a word from the BBC, Russell T Davies, or anybody on this. The officially licensed Big Chief Studios just shut down with a lot of pre-orders still open, including yours truly.
And
yeah,
including the birthday present I bought for you in 2020.
Yeah, the K9.
Mm-hmm.
The K9. I had the full Dalek set. Captain, dude, I had everything. I had everything still on order.
And the K9 came with the not the clothes horse, but what's it called? The coat rack.
The coat rack.
Yeah.
Well, it supposed to come with the coat rack.
Well, yeah, of course it never materialized.
It never materialized, and they never worked on it. They never worked out a deal with another. They lost the people who made their toys, and they never made another one. And they were bullshitting us for 2 years trying to negotiate another thing, and they couldn't. Okay, so back to this. Diamond Comics distributor, when I started, was the only game in town. There used to be multiple distributors, and they all got kind of consolidated and bought up into Diamond. And the direct market thought it was a good idea at the time to have what I would call an accidental monopoly. But it was an accidental monopoly. And what happens with monopolies, is there's no competition and there's no innovation. So when I get there, and this is 2003, the Diamond distributor software was in DOS. I had to use an older computer to order shit from Diamond. I couldn't use a new computer because their software wouldn't work on it. It was fucking insane. And it took them years to fix that because they had no reason to fix it. Why? So when I came in, the first thing I noticed, because I had, just come from the parts world, I didn't know shit about comics at the time, but I'm like, wow, we have multiple distributors. Like even when I'm working for Toyota, I have other options to go to for parts, right? I have no other options to go to for comics. There's Baker and Taylor, where you could get graphic novels and stuff. That was the other option, but it wasn't spectacular. It was doable, but it wasn't spectacular. I think there was one other one. But for floppies, for Marvel, DC, for comics, you can only get it from one fucking place, Diamond. And they tried to be a benevolent monopoly, right? But they were still a monopoly. And
they were the only fucking distributor. Yeah.
And a lot, and you know what? They were really convenient. So it kind of lured a lot of comic book retailers into this trance that we don't need any competition. The biggest problem I noticed when I first got there, and I brought it up and I was told to sit down and shut the fuck up, was if we only have one distributor and there's no competition, that shows there's no desire to do this. There should be competition for Diamond. There should be. I know it might be harder for us, but we might get better prices. We might get better quality. We might get better service. Like, nah, it's super easy to do final cutoff and stuff like that. So it's like, whatever. That's the way it goes. And
weren't you also told to sit down when you spoke about not being able to sell this fucking shit?
The other retailers were told to sit down.
Okay.
That was not me. That was after my time. So that was in 2017, I believe, at the Diamond Retailer Summit. And a lot of retailers were like, this diverse shit's not fucking selling. And basically Marvel came out and said, I'm really sorry some retailers are feel this way. They're super racist. We tried to be diverse, like really backhanded bullshit, which caused a lot of the consumer movement that started back then. And I mean, look at it now, though. Look at it now. So Diamond was fledgling along. It's owned by Steve Jeppy, who famously was on a Brian Hibbs live stream during COVID when Diamond really started to have problems. And he said, hey, we're solvent now. We're good. Because Brian Hibbs at the time was even calling him to the carpet going like, and they were buddies. Okay. So at the time and going like, for one, they stopped paying freelancers well before that. Steve Jeppy was always doing some shady shit with money behind the scenes. I have no proof of it whatsoever, but I've always heard a lot of shit. And then allegedly, but then he comes on a live stream and goes, we're solvent. We got a loan. And I'm like, well, what? Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
So eventually it broke up, and like this dude, I wasn't retailing at this time, obviously, and I don't know what a nightmare it's been. I know there's a couple of other distributors out there that aren't better. And the reason for that is because nobody really wants to distribute comic books, floppies. Nobody really wants to. They kind of have to, but nobody really wants to. There's no company out there going, we've got it. We could distribute the shit out of these comic books. No, it's kind of like, we'd rather distribute toys and books, but we have to do this funny book shit too, because of the comic stores. And, like that's where Diamond went astray. They've never, it's never been solvent. It's never been this super popular company, and it's been mismanaged. And maybe it would have been managed better if it had some competition back in the day, which retailers fought. So here we are. Company received. And then I'm not even going to bore you with my personal history with them. Fuck these. Okay, real quick story. Quick story. Here's why I'm laughing today. Here's why I'm smiling today. All right. So during the transition of my comic store, I had filed for bankruptcy, so I couldn't have a credit account with Diamond. I had to pay them cash money with the check every time they dropped the books. And the reason I couldn't have a credit account, because if somebody gives me credit during bankruptcy, that will fuck up my bankruptcy. Right. So Brian works out something during the transition and remember, I'm really fucking coked out at this time, so I'm not in the best headspace. Just want to point this out.
Thank you, Gary.
Brian, under my comic shop's name, starts a credit account with Diamond, and Diamond, knowing that like starting a credit account under my name would fuck up my bankruptcy, but they did it anyway. And luckily it didn't, but it could have. And now they're in bankruptcy. Universe unfolds as it should. Motherfuckers. And believe me, that's not the only shady thing. That, like, they started, I had to pay cash when I got the books. I regularly would only get half my shipment, but I'd have to pay for all of it. Shit always came in fucking damaged, like all the fucking time. They're like, books would come in wet, like the ink wasn't dry, like all the fucking time. And we bought that shit outright, by the way.
Dude, they were still doing that back in 2019, 2020. I was going to get my comics sent to me to the house. You put your finger on it, you're getting all that fucking inky shit off it.
Yeah. And you could, back in the day, if you wanted to have a private account with Diamond, you had a minimum you had to buy, but you could just get yourself a tax resale number, right? And say you just have an online business or whatever, and you could be just a collector and order through Diamond. So that's why they never gave you like actual shop numbers. They say there's 3,000 shops, but fucking 1,000 of them could be online retailers and just collectors pretending to be online retailers. But that's Diamond. Diamond was I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. They had plenty of time. They ruled the school forever, and they didn't do shit to innovate the industry. It's an industry that just kind of stayed the same for a long time. And my God, anytime somebody suggested any kind of change, like, hey, maybe we should put books back in 7-Eleven, the same 10 retailers named Brian Hibbs would fucking scream bloody murder. You're taking money out of my pocket. No, they're not, you fucking retard. They're getting more people in the comics, you dipshit. The worst thing that ever happened ultimately was the direct market. Once you took them out of 7-Elevens, once you took them out, like Walmart tried, but by the time they tried, nobody gave a fuck. You know, they used to be in gas stations everywhere. They used to be in grocery stores everywhere.
So, I mean, my first comic that I bought was a tiny newsagent that just had a spinner rack in the corner.
Yeah.
You buy the tobacco and the sweets. That was, you know, newspapers, tobacco, sweets, spinny rack of American comics.
I'm so old. I could get like I could get a Snickers. A little.
What'd you just call me?
A Snickers, a little thing of Pringles, and a couple of comic books, and a bottle of Coke for like $5 for fucking like $1 for like $1
Nickel.
for a nickel
For a dime.
It's probably like $2, but at 7-Eleven, man. Language scary. Oh, stop it.
Yeah, that's racism. Any more? Carry on.
No. So what we have here is a failure to distribute. Diamond Comics Distributors, Diamond, the company, has announced that they have filed a voluntary petition for relief under Chapter 11 of the United States Bankruptcy Code in the United States Bankruptcy Court for basically, this is, I'm not going to bore you, so they can, as said, they can reorganize. Basically, so they don't have to pay their creditors for a little while they reorganize. It's buying time. It certainly, businesses have come out of Chapter 11 okay in the past. Many have not. This is a precursor to them going down. So more often than not, this is a precursor to them going down. But I have seen businesses recover from this too.
Yeah, normally with investment money, who's going to invest in Diamond?
Well, Marvel famously was in bankruptcy.
Yes.
I was
slightly different though, the actual creator versus a distributor, but
yes.
You know, at least Marvel's got worth when it comes to investment. What's somebody like Diamond
what's
got?
Diamond's worth when they're not even distributing Marvel and DC, right? I can't even remember. What are they? Are there any retailers out there? What are they distributing now? Image, Dark Horse, toys. I'm sure some Marvel toys are still distributed to them or something like that. But Marvel and DC books, and like, who'd want to distribute Marvel and DC books right now outside of Absolute Batman, which apparently is the thing nobody's buying, and it's like, oh boy, it's another take on Batman. That's gonna really save.
Well, the first issue sold well. Second issue dropped 60%.
What's well? Tell me something well.
400,000 units were shipped.
That's pretty fucking well. That's good.
In today's day and age, yes.
Yeah, even with the pumped up numbers from variants, probably. How many variants did it have?
Oh, probably at least 9.
All right, that's not 27. Yeah, that's good.
No,
that's
at least I'll find out. I'll find out.
So units sold to shops, right? To shops, and that is a number that came from DC. Because we don't have official numbers, so that had to come from DC.
Yes, that would be DC. That would say they sold 400,000.
400,000. Remember when Marvel sold 1 million copies of Spider-Man, Star Wars #1 in 2015? Remember? Number.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And then
5,
later
7. Had 7 variant covers.
that's not bad. That's really that's nothing. I know that's how bad is it when we're saying, oh, it's only 7. Come on, it's not 30. No, Star Wars #1, when Marvel got the license back, sold over 1 million copies, and they were very proud of that. And it did sell a lot of copies, but then later it was determined that they were counting all the copies they were putting in things like Loot Crate and all the shit they were giving away too. So they counted everything that they put out the building as a sale. And, sure. But it's leveled out, but it's still a popular book, I'm hearing. I
mean, I've been blessed this holiday to go to quite a few comic book stores. There was a lot of absolute Batmans on the shelves.
Yeah.
So I mean, but again, I don't know how many of those were variants, but whatnot. But there was a lot of absolute Batmans. There was still plenty of absolute Batman #1. I think it was up to issue 4 now. I haven't had any interest in picking it up. Is it
driving sales to other books?
Well, it hasn't driven me to buy that. But what I did buy is The Last Halloween. So I am going to pick up The Last Halloween and give that a check out. R.I.P. Tim Sale.
All right. Well, I mean, you're going to hear a lot of talk from current retailers, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk about like how it's going to affect. I haven't talked to my friend. I'll talk to a couple retailers and see how it's going to affect them. I mean, it's Diamond's not closing their doors today. It would be, but it's certainly not a good sign of the health of the comic book industry after a year of, I believe, Heidi McDonald just writing in Comics Beat and Brian Hibbs.
Last Halloween. It's the new series, Last Halloween.
Brian Hibbs and Heidi McDonald in Comics Beat saying that last year was an up year for comics. It's hard to argue that when one of your major distributors just files for bankruptcy right afterwards. And now where do they get the numbers to justify it was an up year? Well, Brian has his internal numbers and he shows them. So he had a better year in San Francisco. Heidi McDonald largely said, we just heard their good numbers because we don't have any numbers because they stopped reporting numbers. And why does an industry stop reporting numbers? Because they don't want you to know them. See, when an industry is really healthy and shit is selling like gangbusters, they want you to know because it's a marketing tool. The box office report is a marketing tool. The studios have learned to take the good with the bad with that because a sleeper hit, for instance, Angel Studios, why am I blanking on Angel Studios? Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom, like fully relied on word of mouth. And then people were looking at the box office, which quantified that word of mouth, and they were going. So comic sales, like having the numbers was great for a long time and a good sales tool. But now they don't report them anymore. So we don't know. But they have to conflate it with books and children's books and fucking manga. We've already gone over this. The actual floppy, the comic book, is a small percentage of a tiny industry. Of a tiny industry. Comparatively. What is that?
It's always been fucky though, because your Marvels, your DCs, Image, etc., they are selling to comic book stores, right? So they'll always say, well, let's take Absolute Batman, 400,000. We sold 400,000 Absolute Batman ones to comic book stores. Ergo, it sold 400,000 units. Correct. But how many of those 400,000 were actually bought by customers?
You never know.
Exactly. That's just it. That's where it breaks down.
Ever know.
That's where the numbers will always break down, because not every comic book store is going to present numbers.
No, and not every comic store keeps them.
Exactly.
Some comic stores are so small. It's like, I just got it all up here.
Yeah. So all we can go by is what they are selling to the comic book stores.
Yep. Oh, well.
So who knows? Like I said, I had the fortune to go to a few places over the Christmas and New Year, and there was a lot of shit rotting on shelves. You know, a lot of shit rotting on shelves. Holy crap! Found a couple of decent back issue stores though. That's good.
Yeah, I did too.
I know Morley's
All right.
not asleep. Morley's not the comic guy.
Oh,
So-
I could only get in the way of this conversation.
This is I like everybody's reaction to this who reports on comic book news, buys comic books regularly, has owned a shop, has worked professionally in the comic book industry as a writer, as an artist, or even a fucking editor, has known that this has only been a matter of time. Like, it's kind of like the Neil Gaiman accusations. What took so long? I mean, that's kind of the reaction. It's the same thing.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to Funny Books, comic books, where we talk about heroism and superheroes and inspirational stories. The wonderful world of comic books.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, shoot. I think we're done enough with Diamond. They can just go fuck themselves, to be honest with you. Fuck them. Fuck but do you know what I'm not gonna fuck? Captain America. Captain African America.
Well, if it's Haley Atwell, I mean,
no, it's not Haley Atwell. Well,
okay.
I mean, we can negotiate that.
George Perez,
So I think she's
Fantastic
coming
Four.
back in the Avengers movies as well.
What?
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
Here, put it up. George Perez, Fantastic Four is just fucking.
Oh yeah.
Dope.
Hold on.
George
Do
Perez,
it.
like great George Perez.
Late great George Perez, man.
And this this was my era of getting in the Fantastic Four, the 25 centers. Yeah, Buckler and Perez and Kirby.
Captain African American, Brave New World, eyes 86 million to 95 million, opening over the President's Day weekend box office early look. Now, this is domestic, this isn't worldwide. So it's predicting 86 million to 95 million
For the 3 days.
weekend. For the 3 days.
For 3 days. Not the 4 days.
fourth. The fourth one could tip it over 100 million. And you do know that on President's Day weekend, they like to report the weekend as a 4-day weekend anyway.
They do. Let's not forget this is Black History Month as well. This will be Black History Month.
If it could ever achieve this, it will fall off hard afterwards.
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit more information.
Let's have some more information, please.
And
Okay, for one, I mean, like, I know what you're saying, chat. Where's Captain America? And that's a good question. I don't know.
I know, but that black guy stole his shield. And that is just perpetuating stereotypes, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, to be fair, the story went that he gave it to the government, good old Cap,
Yeah.
and then they gave it to Walker, and then Falcon stole it by breaking his arm and beating him to death almost.
By
That
getting
is
his
what
girlfriend to
happened.
help him. Getting his
I didn't
girlfriend
write
to help
that story. Marvel did. So, talk to them about it.
Well, the prediction is 86 million to 95 million opening weekend, 3-day weekend. The prediction, though, also is that its box office run domestically is going to be between 190 to 280 million. Which means that they are expecting colossal drops off.
Mm-hmm. Well, historically,
Now, I would actually be, I got to admit, I'd be quite surprised if this does 95 million over the 3-day weekend. I would be. I'd be quite surprised.
I'm trying
But-
to think of like if that's possible, it would be through like some fucking desperate marketing that people would have gone to have seen this, but it won't travel the movie.
I don't think it's got competition. That's one thing that it's going for. It doesn't have any competition. But again, now let me just go through some other stuff. Among the 4-day opening records for the President's Day weekend, Marvel Studios owns top 3. 2018 Black Panther, 242 million. Deadpool, 152 million. And believe it or not, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, 120 million.
The
Now-
film that I believe ended up making something like 20,000 in total profit.
Well, this is just it. The big thing is if they're predicting that Ant-Man Quantumania did 120 million over the 4-day opening weekend. And they're predicting that Captain African American is going to do
We'll make less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fucked.
Yeah.
But we knew it was fucked.
And like everything, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, word of mouth, saved that film because it had a very weak opening weekend in comparison, but the legs were very good indeed. Ended up doing decent numbers, 800 and something million. I don't see this having this is what 3.5 fucking films. This isn't even a cohesive.
No, it's a completely reshot film. People were removed and recast last minute for the completely reshot film that we were told internally by Marvel was passable, which is not like
passable.
It's passable.
Passable.
The budget has ballooned to $400 million, and the word on the street is it right 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
Something along those lines.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Help me. Please help me.
That's like more than 2 that we should have to watch, in a row in terms of length. But
I hope we get a half an hour of Snap Wilson, the drug dealing pimp. I really hope we do. That would make me love it.
That information on Quantumania is seriously like almost underrated. We're looking at the maximum guess. It's still under it by like 25-30 million, when Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania made a total net budget profit over everything, because this came out right $88,236. That was the profit of Quantumania.
It never made a profit.
Well, that isn't.
I know
really
that's the reported, but I mean,
no. The point that is such raw, like bean counting numbers. It doesn't take into the context that making that amount of money is a flop. Hardcore. That's a fuck up. Like,
all right, chat is correct me. Sorry to interrupt. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. 2 hours. So they cut out. So apparently they cut out the Snap Wilson storyline. I'm very disappointed.
Like, Quantumania hilariously underperformed, and to the point where it joins the shelf of all of the flopped Marvel films in the modern age. But what I'm saying is, like, it made $88,000, and it's looking to have made more than 30 million on its opening than Captain America: Brave New World, which I'm pretty sure cost more.
That is a 4-day weekend. These numbers are 3-day weekend, so a 4th day would boost it over 100 million, but
it's not enough.
I don't think. Is it going to be? Is it going to do 120 million over a 4-day? And
what did it says it in this article? Winter Soldier. What did it make over 3 days in 2000?
I think it's 93.
14 was $95 million domestically.
Yeah, and that's how many? 10 years ago.
That is 10 years ago. 11 years ago. 11 years ago.
Isn't this thing looking at an insane budget in theoretically, especially because of reshoots?
Yes.
Yeah, 400 million it's hit.
Yeah.
400 million.
So it theoretically it needs to make 1.2 billion to break even.
Yes.
Approximately.
Yeah.
So good luck hitting 1.2 fucking billion.
there's going to be decisions made as a result of this thing failing, and they're just waiting for it to fail. I guess they just need the confirmation that they can.
Like mostly Marvel's attitude, I'm thinking, is like we have. It's like DC before James Gunn takes over. We got to put this stuff out, and Sam Wilson will be Cap in Secret Wars, but then Chris Evans will probably be Cap in Secret Wars too.
No, but he's not. But he's Nazi Cap.
Yeah.
Well, Falcon can teach him the error of his ways.
I think that. I mean, we know he's coming back, but the fact that Downey Jr. is going to play Doctor Doom, I think that he's going to play Nazi Cap.
I think it's highly likely that he plays Nazi Cap, and I wouldn't be surprised. I thought I heard his voice. Many people said no, and I could be completely fucking wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if we find out Steve Rogers isn't dead, like old man Steve. This would be the movie where he goes and talks to an old Steve Rogers. And there certainly was a scene that kind of sounded like Chris Evans in the trailer, but I don't think that I'm probably wrong.
Okay, here's a comment. This is going to be okay. I'm going to put up a poll. Or looks says it's going to be a good movie. Okay, all right. Let's do a poll. And let's see who thinks it's going to be a good movie, who doesn't think it's going to get a good movie. Let's see what the lay of the land is with the chat. Here's Cap.
Yeah, this.
I do not think it's going to bomb like the Marvels at all, because there's people. There's actual actors in this. So.
Well, I think this is going to do around 450 worldwide.
Yeah,
500 worldwide. That's what I think, but I don't think it's. And if it stinks, if this movie stinks, I don't think it hits 400.
Even if it's typical Marvel fare over the last few years, we're talking about the possibility of between a 60 and 70% drop off second weekend.
Yes.
It's not good enough to make people.
No.
Even if there's a great film, which is not going to happen.
This is the problem with the cinematic universe. Is they can't cancel this film because this film's going to be pushing the next fucking shite, because it's all interlocked. Where the move would be, fuck it, we just tax it and it's a tax write-off and we get our money back.
I will say, by the way, a huge amount of people have voted yes, way more than I expected.
Let's have a look. I haven't even seen. Is this sarcasm?
No. I'm staggered that there would be.
It's 97% no.
Yeah. What's those 3% doing?
There's always a 3%. Hey, you're a hopeful lot. Bless your heart.
Yeah. God bless you. I mean, now it's got a 4%. Now what are you going to say, Mauler? You're going to blow up.
I think at this point there's interference. There's stop the count. Stop the count, everyone. Stop it.
It's going to be a 3 a.m. dump. Okay, for yes, there is. Now people are going to troll yes.
Yeah.
No matter how much they troll, they ain't winning that poll.
Oh.
I don't personally think the movie's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be like obnoxiously bad or anything, but I got a feeling. I mean, obviously, I unfortunately will go to see this one. Maybe I jump on Friday night types that week. I don't know. But I got a feeling that I'm going to leave the cinema like, that's what I think my reaction is probably going to be.
Well, yeah, mine gets tempered when people from Marvel say, it's not very good. Which is fucking funny.
So,
oh my God. It's so funny when you see the shills go out there for a premiere and they're like, it's absolute great. And I'm hearing from people who worked on that movie going, it fucking sucks.
What's so funny too is that if you're at any line of production, you may not even have seen the movie they're releasing. You might have seen it and been like, it's not very good. It's like, that one's not getting to the theater, man. That's
right.
A really different one.
That's not the one I did. I don't know where this other shit came in.
Oh, that was the case for a lot of D+ shows where the people involved they saw a copy and then they saw what was put to us and they're like, that's not what I saw. So
too big
funny.
to rig.
It's funny.
So if the movie's successful, what is successful for this movie?
Oh, this movie,
$1 billion, right?
$1 billion.
No,
But it loses money.
Because it's Marvel. It's still Marvel. I mean, long ways from its glory days,
I
but
think
it's still Marvel.
even if it was to lose money, if it hits $1 billion, they would consider it like, oh shit, so we got some life left. Good.
Yeah, I breaking even, chat. I would agree that like things have gotten so bad that would probably be a victory.
It's like the James Bond film, isn't it? No Time to Die.
And then he dies.
And
he died
with the franchise.
But that went insane because of the COVID and everything, and the budget and the sitting on the shelf and all that. But when it ended up doing it, was it 900 million or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it needed to make its money back. So it made its money back. They were like, success. In all fairness, it kind of was though, because I don't think anyone expected that to do 900 million. It's god awful film. So you think even if it loses a couple of 100 million, they'll count that as a good GG?
It's quite a sensational thing, right? Like it cracks $1 billion, and it's like, oh yeah, and then it shows it's like, okay, so we can still make $1 billion. Now we need to sort out fucking lowering the budgets or what we're doing next. I think if it makes the $1 billion line could decide what they're doing with Sam Wilson, basically.
Yes.
Under it, he's pretty much going to be phased out. Over it, it's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, I guess we can use him.
Do you think it's going to hit $1 billion?
No.
Where do you guys think it's
no,
going
not
hit?
with that starting. Not like if it's gonna hit $1 billion, it needs to do like fucking Doctor Strange Mom opening weekend numbers, which didn't hit $1 billion, but came close.
Yeah, no, it's what is it? It's got to be something like a 500, 600 area, I guess, at max. Unless it gets really lucky legs, which I just don't see how it possibly could.
Yeah, there's not a lot of competition, but I don't think that helps in this case. I just don't. There's been past Marvel movies just in the recent past that didn't have a lot of competition that just flailed. So, I don't know. We'll find out in a month.
It would have to be so fucking good.
A month from today.
But it won't be.
How'd you spell that?
No,
Moana film, what are it's called?
Moana.
Moana.
Moana. I don't know.
Moana.
No.
That did good.
Oh,
it's.
Oh my god! There's a live action one coming in 2026. What the fuck?
I think.
Yeah, with The Rock, they're filming already, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
So Moana 2. The chat have pointed me towards this is just 10 million off hitting $1 billion.
Yeah.
So I've heard that. I mean, obviously, a lot of people seen this film. I don't think I've seen anyone say this is a good film.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Inside Out 2 thing, where it's just like, oh, that's happening. Okay, wow, okay, yeah, I guess there it goes.
Taking your family out to a movie.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I guess
Snow White comes out like the month after Captain African American here. That'll be awesome.
That's March. Yeah.
Internally, like Marvel is feeling much better about the Thunderbolts than they are about this one.
It
comes out in May.
I have no fucking. I think. I don't see the Thunderbolts making anything.
But with the Task Mistress and Ghost,
and miserable widow,
and it's a sequel to like a Black Widow movie and a couple of D+ series that that Black Widow movie was a banger, wasn't it, Mahler?
It was so good.
You made a 4-hour video about how much you liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, just praised mostly every scene.
Yeah,
man.
I gotta
Legendary.
watch that again because it was so good.
Well, dude, the messaging in that is the morality of that movie is so fucked.
It was so bad. It was so
It's like,
fucking bad.
I know she's a female Dr. Mengele, but she's a girl, so we're gonna let her. It's fine.
Oh, by the way,
the prison where they just bury all the prisoners
Killed all
arbitrarily.
and the dogs
just to get the dad out,
just to get the dad out,
and then tell him about how they had their ovaries ripped out.
Man, so
How they had them, yeah.
You just ripped them out.
Just FYI, chat. I saw Transformers 1 today.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, I will talk about it on Afternoon Tea with us this. Wow.
Well, I wanted to know if you can you at least say if you recommend it or no?
Thanks, babe.
There's stuff I like about it. There's some stuff I like about it. There's bits I don't like about it.
Well, thank you. Let's clip that. Clip
that review.
That's gonna go viral.
I'll say this: it's got some good ideas with some absolutely abhorrently bad writing, which really annoyed me because there's some. By the way, the trailers are absolutely awful, but there's stuff in it which could work well, but the writing is so fucking bad. It annoyed me so much because there was a good movie in there somewhere.
Well, all right, there we are.
Yeah, but yes, it was frustrating.
Well, there you go, Mahler.
Got it.
You've got competition now, buddy.
yeah.
Hang it up. Nobody breaks down a movie like that.
I'm not going to spend I can't do it now. I'm going to do an Afternoon Tea with us.
I could do a longer review of that movie, and I haven't seen it.
I could go a little more if you want. Transformers 1 had some very good ideas in terms of what was really going on Cybertron with the primes. Unfortunately, it was bogged down by Bumblebee being the most obnoxiously fucking dog shit character. Alita 1, who's actually a decent character, being portrayed as the ultra can't do anything wrong woman. And the film was so fucking nervous about trying to portray her as weak in any way, sense, or form that she just dominated all of the characters, which made her absolutely fucking pathetic. The relationship between Optimus and Megatron on paper worked in some cases, but again, because the dialogue was so poor in other cases, it really let the film down. The animation was very nice. The ideas were good. I like the ideas of the pre-Autobot and Decepticon stuff. The ending was exceedingly rushed, and they didn't let it breathe at all, which again led to a bit of a nowhere land. And if they just decided to not make it so cutesy in areas that made it fucking retarded and actually went with a more mature theme, I don't mean mature theme as in Zack Snyder miserable. I mean mature theme as in treating children like they're not fucking retarded, autistic, fucking medicated weirdos. Then yes, this could have been a really, really good film. But the dialogue, unfortunately, let it down in way too many cases. And whenever they did anything of any serious nature whatsoever, they had to break it up with some dumb fuck comedy line to just break the tension when they should have let things breathe.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Better.
Beautiful. And the in-depth review will be on Sunday.
Sunday, I'll go into it. Because they did a lot of characters dirty because of Alita 1. A lot of characters dirty because of Alita 1, which is so fucking annoying.
Do you know about the skeleton crew finished?
Has it?
Did it?
Has anyone seen it?
We did the meme. We did it. We got there. We said this is exactly what would happen. One of us would announce
we did.
We did. So it was out. So yeah. How about that? I have not watched it. I probably will for open bar, but oh boy, skeleton
I have
crew.
Not seen a minute of it. I haven't. All I know is that it's even lower viewed than
Acolyte, yeah.
Acolyte. Yeah, that's all I know.
Well, and Star Wars Theory's been talking about it, and we kind of speculate on this, but it's not bad enough that it would explain being lower viewed than something like the Acolyte, but the Acolyte kind of explains why it's lower viewed. You know, it's like that along with a bunch of other stuff. It just removes any faith one would have in the IP. So there's still people around, and there's still an audience that maybe it can appeal to. But of course, the broad Star Wars fandom is just like, why would I give a shit?
We're now a generation in to people probably not understanding, and this is understandable. So we're probably a generation into people not understanding that a Star Wars project coming and going with no fanfare is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It is insane.
It wasn't
But
cheap.
here we are.
The star's like an actor that's famous. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's stuff in it. But oh well.
I thought it started last week.
No, it's been going on for a while
now. Yeah. But hey, shockingly, it's not really recommended by anybody.
I heard that I saw that the Star Wars Twitter account retweeting accounts with like 13 people that follow it, so it must be good.
It's, it'll be a come and gone sort of show, and every once in a while someone will mention it, and people will be like, huh? Oh, right, that one.
Cool. Yeah.
I guess next thing for Star Wars will be Andor. This was not even a blip on the radar. It's just sort of.
I would say this is why it had a lower viewership than the Acolyte. It's because nobody gives a fuck about Star Wars.
I would say that's
pretty much what I said.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean, just in a blunt manner. I mean, you put a nice little bow tie on it. You brushed its hair. You put some aftershave on it. But nobody gives a fuck about this retarded. I don't even know what Star Wars is. Can you describe what Star Wars is now?
Streaming show.
It's a streaming. It is content in a subcategory on an unprofitable streaming service that's bundled into something else.
I actually think it's a really good fucking description of Star Wars.
What it is. And a lot of us predicted that's what it would become.
Well, does this get you excited? We are getting Ahsoka season 2 soon enough, and it's going to have Obi-Wan Kenobi in it. Ewan McGregor is coming back.
What?
Flashbacks or some shit. I don't know.
Wait.
What?
How?
Flashbacks. We'll have flashbacks, and he'll be around.
Great. How about Hayden Christensen?
He's dead.
You know what? As far as I know, Hayden Christensen is also going to be coming back.
Drag him in too.
He's dead.
Yeah. And Rory McCann is going to play Balin Skoll.
Oh, you know what they're going to do? They're going to get that young girl again who was much better than Rosario Dawson.
I know, she actually was.
She was. I like Rosario Dawson, but she was miles better. They're going to get her in to do another one of those flashback scenes or dream scenes or world between.
Remember the Clone Wars episode where they did flashbacks and showed Vader flickering was one of the best received fucking things that Disney has done in a long time because memes and.
But why did nobody watch this? But nobody watched it.
Dangling fucking keys. So you can expect more of that in season 2 because look how well it got received. They'll be like, "Oh, we got to get Vader. We got to get more Hayden.
He Kenobi. Is that what it's going to be next season? He Kenobi.
He fucking Vader. I'll just re-release that video I made once that comes out. Just be like, there you go, same commentary.
So, I know. Well, right. Remind me, when does this series come out again?
Ahsoka season 2, or
yeah. Ahsoka season 2.
As far as I'm aware, like that's still down the line. Probably next year we'd see that.
But I thought the movie was next year.
Well, yeah, they would have to start filming like now for it to be out next year.
End of this year, then I don't think there's any word on it yet. But of course, we're getting Andor in April, so maybe they're doing Ahsoka at the end of 2025.
I mean, aside from any animated projects or anything, that's the only live action project coming from Star Wars this year, right? Andor.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we get
technically the crew as well.
Oh, technically, yes, that's true.
Whatever. Save your autism.
No,
Okay.
never.
But and then the Mandalorian and Grogu comes out next year.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking Ahsoka comes out in 2027. Right?
maybe. Yeah.
Rosario Dawson's going to be like 65.
She'll still be able to fold those arms. Damn it!
She will. And not.
They get a prosthetic arms that are folded.
I like Rosario
Can't do it
Dawson.
anymore.
I do.
I do.
She's,
But she's
Yeah.
not a good Ahsoka.
Yeah, we
She's an
can be honest.
awful Ahsoka.
she's not putting much in. That's all.
No, it's not. It's not good.
To be fair, a lot of it's directed by Filoni, right? And he's apparently
Yeah.
not much of a. He's probably just chill, directing those. Not many scenes where they even talk. It's mostly just blech.
Can you remember much? Oh yeah, I know that the thingamajiggy from Game of Thrones has been cast as Balin.
Yeah,
Rory
I just said it. Rory McCann.
Rory McCann. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Rory McCann.
I think that's a solid choice of all
Yeah.
the people you could recast him with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me what happened in Ahsoka season 1.
With him or with just everything?
Just give me a synopsis of what happened.
Thrawn was in a different
Wait,
galaxy.
no.
I want it
You can't see Mahler
chronologically.
do it, so I'm going to do what I'm going to like visualize what
Chronologically.
Mahler is thinking right now, and it's
Well, as my summary is what you need, like what information you actually gain from the season. Thrawn was
Okay.
in a different galaxy as a result of one of the cartoon TV shows, and now he's in the regular one. But Ahsoka and friends are stuck in the other one. That's the season.
a bunch of women were looking for balls and crossing their arms. The
Yep.
end.
Some obnoxious cow went to another galaxy to tell a guy who she hasn't seen in 10 years and can't stop thinking about him that she just wants to be friends.
She crosses a different galaxy to put a dude in the friend zone.
That is all I got from
Because
Ahsoka.
we cannot have heterosexual relationships in anything Lucasfilm.
And he
It's too
gave her his
heteronormative.
penis. He gave her his
He
penis.
literally hands her his cock, which is funny because the Mandalorian does that
yeah.
too. Oh,
And then he, for some reason, doesn't get blasted out the sky in the final scene
And remember,
because the
every
rebels are
single
retarded.
military or warfare interaction with Thrawn, he fails, and then his assessment is like, "Actually, I won."
actually, I won. This works out for us the best.
Yeah. All your troops are dead and your ship is burning. Just as I planned.
Just as
Now they'll think that we're weak.
Somebody pass me the box of donuts.
God,
But
he's fucked all
if Hugh McGregor's going to be in it, then it's husband and wife.
up. Oh yeah.
Husband and wife are going to be in the show.
Honestly though, it'll be the same thing. There'll be an episode with those two in it, and everyone will go crazy over it, and then it'll be gone, and it won't matter. Nobody's fucking rewatching Ahsoka.
So Star Wars is about Star Wars. That's all it is. It's not about anything else. It's just about its past self, as
Yeah.
Robert Meyer Burnett
Yes.
said. That's what it's about. It's
Self-
Star
about
Wars is now a Star
self-
Wars museum.
yes.
Yes.
It's a very boring museum.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew?
I've seen up to episode 6, I think.
Is that the only episode or up to episode 6?
I was up to that, and there's more now.
So is it a unique show at least, or
Unique, yeah. I mean, it's been said, and I agree, but this means nothing. It's better than Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's better than Book of Boba Fett. It's better than The Acolyte. It's better. I think it's better than Ahsoka, if that means anything. But it's like, well, how good is it then? And you're like, well, not good. You're like, oh, okay. But it's certainly tolerable. If you have like a kid who's trying to get into Star Wars, I could imagine they had a lot of fun with it. I've been told that by a lot of people that their kids love it. It's very kid friendly. It's you know, young people messing around, going on a Star Wars adventure, visiting different planets. Jude Law has some fun. It's he's a good actor.
I
And
like Jude. I like Jude Law as an actor.
he's trying to work with the material. He definitely comes across as though he cares. But like nothing particularly interested me. It's all very simple and thin, writing wise. Lots of coincidental, random, surprise nonsense to sort of keep it bubbly. But yeah, there's an excuse that floats around saying it's for kids, so none of what I just said matters. I'll always rebuke that with kids' content should be better. Not only should it be better, probably has a bigger responsibility to be better than adult content. There's a lot that kids can gain from media, and when I was younger, I didn't watch stuff, think it was shit, and go, "Oh well, I'm a kid, so it should be shit." Like I always would hope for more meaningful stuff and just better constructed, more entertaining.
I saw a fucking great Star Wars film when I was about 6.
Oh yeah, what was it called?
Star Wars.
Well, that shouldn't have been as good as it was, because if you're a kid, you should be having worse things to watch. That's how that works, you see.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. I mean, as someone has just mentioned, how does that explain Pixar? It's like, yeah, some of Pixar's golden age movies are incredible. The idea that, well, they're for kids, so they don't need to be good. It's like, what are you talking about? Please stop. But
Please stop.
It'll come and go. No one's going to care. And the Star Wars' meta story continues.
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess.
I mean, like that's the thing we're and hey, maybe Superman is great, and I hope it is. I hope Superman like launches us into a new era of superhero films. I hope the Fantastic Four is great and female Silver Surfer's in it for 5 seconds and gets evaporated. But I hate female Silver Surfer. But like before they can even, DC's got a head start. Marvel's got everybody's waiting for Robert Downey Jr. to come back, and everybody's waiting for Secret Wars at this point, or Doomsday and Secret Wars, those two Avengers films. I know, but like that would be the perception, and I think they'll still do really well. But it's like, what do you do after that if you're talking about longevity and keeping this going? And is the superhero like dominance at the box office ending? I would argue it already has.
Yeah.
Because I mean, outside of Deadpool and Wolverine, the last few years have been dominated by other films,
I'm with you. It's like their last big play. And we also, the moment fucking Endgame finished, it was always their last big play. We were like, well, they could always bring him back. That'll be the big deal. It's the final curtain, so to speak, on trying to make this shit work. And so, it'll be an event. It won't be very big compared to the bigger events, but how good it'll be as well. I mean, it's dependent on who the fuck is. Have they settled on a writer for these movies yet?
Russo brothers, isn't it?
Who? I'll look up.
It's kind of crazy if you look at the history of the Avengers films to come, how many different people are coming out. But I guess that makes sense considering this is something Marvel will probably like stressing the fuck over.
Steve McFeely. So it's going to be
the team.
Joe.
Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh well,
it's smart bringing the Russo brothers back.
I don't know that it'll make a difference though.
I don't know if it makes a difference, but as far as like smart moves,
it'll be the most tooled over movie ever. Every person who's ever been involved in Marvel Studios will be like, you need to have this, you need to put that there. No, move that. No, you can't be having
that's the quandary. That's the conundrum that they're in, because they can't hire maybe a new hotshot director or an established director because of all the minutia that goes into this. So they needed somebody familiar with the Marvel minutia, and they needed to just go back to, it's a safe choice, basically, Mahler, which is not necessarily ever going to be the most successful, but like, I completely understand why they made it. And it was smart as far as marketing. If you want to get people even semi-excited about something they weren't excited about it.
It reminds me of Doctor Who. I think we talked about this before. Yep. It's like, look, it's the guys you like writing it and it's the guys you like acting in it. You're like,
But is it the right time? Timing is everything.
Yeah, it's that's a good analogy because you know, we had Ncuti Gatwa taking over. It's kind of like, well, at least it's a male doctor again, and then we got all the
Then he
at
wasn't.
last a gay doctor, and then he was wearing dresses, then he was in gay bars, then he was telling policemen that he liked having thumbs shoved up his ass, and he kind of like, oh no, this isn't Doctor Who at all. I think the novelty could wear off real fucking quick with Downey as Doom. Real quick. If he was Iron Man,
Well, you'll see him
I
as
think-
Doom in Fantastic Four at the end.
yeah, he'll be in the end credit scene, one of the end credit scenes, or yeah. That's what I think, and this is why I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna do Nazi Cap, and they're gonna do that kind of stuff, and their heroes. I mean, what? Again, I have to ask the question: who the fuck are the Avengers?
No, I know. They'll have to figure that out for themselves. By the way, on the topic of who's writing, Marcus and McFeely were the writing duo behind Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. Only McFeely is coming back for this, apparently.
Okay.
Which is not reassuring because you'd want the team, whatever it is. But, you know, I mean, you know, everyone knows how we feel about all of this. We're going to have to take it as it comes. Who knows? Hopefully it's at least better than your standard outing right now in the MCU.
I'm more interested in Fantastic Four because it's completely separated from anything else.
Right. It's a different universe, right?
Exactly. And this is, again, I think one of the reasons why Deadpool Wolverine was popular as well. It was kind of poking fun, but it was also pretty much separate from the rest of the shit as well. For the most part, you know, particularly because it's dealing more with the Fox side than the MCU side. But I just oh, it's just getting I'm Mr. Stark, I'm tired. I'm just so fucking tired with this.
I think, yeah, Secret Wars is probably going to be like a cameo fest to end all cameo fests.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see fucking Lou Ferrigno. You know,
Well, he was in the 2008 one, right?
Lou Ferrigno. Oh yes, he was. That's right.
Yeah.
He was God, I completely forgot that.
Security guard, I think.
Security guard. Yes.
Cannibal, I'll answer your question. There's no way in hell I'm going to start watching a Game of Thrones show that, again, isn't even finished in the books.
Well, no, it is finished, isn't it?
No, it's not. Is it,
Gary?
Gary? There's still.
I'm sorry, I'm Googling something.
Duncan Egg is still not finished. Book
Duncan Egg is not finished. There's
Yeah.
still another book called The She-Wolves of Winterfell that has to come out.
About that?
And there's yeah, he plans to write that after Winds of Winter.
Oh my
That's what
God. So he hasn't even started. Oh.
And then it's supposed to lead up to Duncan Egg is supposed to lead up to the events of Summerhall. Okay. Where, sorry, spoilers, they die. But the events of Summerhall are basically Egg wants to as king at this point wants to hatch a dragon egg and use possibly some magic or something, and it blows up. It blows up. So yeah, so at least 2 more books. Maybe.
So the answer is no.
The answers, but the thing is, with Duncan, at least with Duncan Egg, is like these are just these are singular stories. They're very small stories for Game of Thrones. They take place in generally one area in Westeros. They have the backdrop of the Blackfire rebellions, right?
Okay.
But it's a very enclosed story. So you wouldn't need these finished unless they start dropping hints about like any future events, which they wouldn't. Unless they use it with Bloodraven. But these are enclosed stories, so they could work. That's what I'm saying. They could.
Never mind. Sophie Turner. Sophie Turner, of course, has recently been cast as Lara Croft.
You got to be fucking
Wait,
kidding me.
Officially? Like,
I believe
I
so.
thought she was considered for it, which was
is it only considered?
horrible.
I thought she was cat. Let me
She
just check.
cannot act. Okay.
She's just gone off the rails now.
Did you see? I mean, did you see Dark Phoenix? Holy shit!
No,
like,
I did not.
it's kind of interesting, right? It's like you could talk about aesthetics and everything, but it's almost like she's just a bad choice outright because she's just not a great actress.
She's a pencil too.
Yeah,
She's built like a pencil.
Yeah, they're saying that she is going to play Lara Croft. Yeah.
Oh.
Sophie Turner will take on the role of Lara Croft in Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Tomb Raider show. This is Phoebe Waller-Bridge as well, remember?
I thought they were still like.
So it's already fucked. It was already fucked just by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Well, yeah, we knew that, but you'd think maybe they would want to cast it. Sophie Turner's not even a draw. No one cares about her as an actor. Why?
Well, didn't she? Chat, call me out if I'm wrong. But wasn't she married to one of the Jonas Boys? They had kids, and then she just divorced him, saying that she wanted to just be a wild child or some shit. She hadn't lived properly or some. Just give up on a family because she wanted to get fucking pissed.
No idea.
She wanted to be a party girl. Yeah.
Okay. That's maybe why she looks like she's 40 right now.
She's looking rough.
She's looking rough. That booze.
Oh.
Get ya.
Booze and fags.
You can't say that to Americans. They get confused.
I understood it.
Cigarettes. They age you. They dry your skin and they age you. That's why I look so
Lovely.
yeah.
Listening.
Let's do some supery duperies.
You need to what are those videos called? The Let's Go videos, or the ones where the women are doing their makeup and putting on their moisturizer? Get up and go videos.
I don't know.
Whatever
You,
the fuck
Gary,
they're called.
you
How
tell
do you know
me.
what that is, Gary? I don't know what that is.
I have a wife. She talked that. What do they call chat? You know, the fucking whatever. So it's always some chick named Amanda.
Let's go.
Some
Let's
chick named
go video.
like Amanda Stenberg when she was like bigotry and racism, and she's putting on like her eyeshadow and stuff.
Oh,
Get ready.
get ready with me. Get ready with me.
Let's go. Whatever
Like
the
a
fuck.
genre. I didn't know.
I'm
that.
saying Az should do some of those. He should like, what do you moisturize with?
Yeah, mama.
Which one, motherfucker?
My two moms. GRWM. Get ready with me.
Oh, I was back to GRRM. Never finishing the book.
Giggity.
I'm looking forward to Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm looking forward to that show. Even if if he doesn't finish the books, you could do like just adapt the 3 books that are out there and it'd be fine. I think it'd be fine. But is he gone, Mahler?
I think he died.
Buffy talk. Here we go.
Oh, all right.
No,
Yes.
I think HBO really fucked House of the Dragon last year. And I think it probably could have been a banger season if they would have let them finish the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be and the whole point, Mahler, was to get shit out sooner. And it turns out it's still going to take 2 years between seasons. So it was pointless for them to do that. Utterly pointless.
Oh, such a misstep, dude.
Yep.
Knocking off those 2 episodes where you get big, enormous payoff and then aftermath, complete season.
Yep.
Now those 2 are what start season 3, which is going to fucking eat up all the budget.
So, and now this has an effect on Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because if they had a banger season, then more people would have been interested in that to watch. And now they're like, well, as pointed out, it's based on an unfinished book series. And are we going to get an unfinished series? Are we going to get a shortened series that like what, you break the trust with the viewer. Hard to get it back. And it was amazing that they had gotten anybody back after Game of Thrones season 8. Can't fuck around that much.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, well, they certainly didn't get the people back, the majority of the Game of Thrones people back, regardless of the way you look at it.
No, you never do. Once you have that catastrophic of a disaster, you never get everybody back. Your only hope is to get most of them back. They got a good chunk back. Then they lost them at the end of season 2. I think season 3 is going to be affected.
Yeah.
Well, Striker X24 with the $2 says Captain 4 needs to be a choose your own adventure movie.
I think Mahler suggested this. I want all the endings. I want it like Clue. You know,
The 3 of us should get a different one so we can all talk about it.
we can all talk about our three different experiences.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the wild marketing for it is which movie have you gone to see? Marksman at 117B with a $2 says Boogie versus Count Orlok for the bigger monster.
Oh.
I mean, Orlok would probably get a sugar high if he tried to drink.
Yeah, he would die of contagious diabetes.
Fiesta Cat upgraded their membership. Thank you, Fiesta Cap. That's the Striker X24. TGV Monster with a 20. I've been making a comic series since November 2022 called Living Dead Hunters. It's about 5 people fighting monsters and the undead in an abandoned town ruled by a cult in the Lovecraft mythos. Out now on Webtoons. I love feedback. If you're so inclined, chat, go check it out. Jim has been a member for 32 months. Jim, thank you. Zeddy Boy with a $2 says the yeet. There, that's all I have to say. Okay. Wise words, yeah. B Chain 315 with a 20 says, hey guys, I'm back working February the 1st. Thankfully wasn't unemployed for too long. Good effort. Now down 20 pounds, as I missed telling you last week, but more days passed between Elder Scrolls 6 trailer and now than between Skyrim and the Elder 6 trailer. Woo! Isn't it crazy when shit... Oh, man. That is crazy when shit like that happens. The Willy Bot has been a member for 19, says, cheers for you all. You folks make it a little easier to make it through the tough days. Oh, thank you. You are not alone. X in Wonderland with a 2 month says, Nerderotic is here on time. He's taking one step further away from his African expertise. Gary was here 3 minutes before the stream was meant to start. He was very early. Ives the First has been a member for a month. Thank you. And Piston with a €6 says, if you have to pick your favorite lightsaber stance, who would you pick? Single blade, dual blade, double blade, or crossguard? I'll be honest, Piston. I don't give a shit.
I'll pick single.
So I'll say double, the one where you go like that. Balin Scroll he had a good fighting technique.
That was, yeah, he's like a knight, right? That was the idea. That was cool. I mean, I love Count Dooku's like fencing style. It was really cool shit as well.
Yeah. Skull Muncher with a $10 says, I got a radio ad suggesting I get another jab. It's 2025 and they're still pulling this junk. Hey, mainstream media, I have the GFYS variant. It's a dead horse. Shut the fuck up already. The media can't go bankrupt fast enough. I haven't seen anything, but maybe it's, a US thing, I guess. Noons gifting 50 memberships to the stream. Noons. Insane. Thank you so much. It's crazy. Ivan Petrescu with a $2 says, arigato gozaimashita.
Toshiba.
Itachi. Grimnack has been a member for 30 months. Thank you, Grimnack. Yeah. Oh, Do you know anything about this Johnny Somali business going on, Morley?
No, who's that?
He's the streamer pest that's been going around Japan and now Korea, and Korea are putting him on trial.
Really?
Yeah, and I think the trial's this month.
What's the expected sort of result here?
I think they're actually looking to put him away for a year or two.
Damn.
That would be funny. Something Wong. Wait, Fiesta Cat with a $5 says, so if one is a white man and they are still allowed to dress as Captain America. No, white men aren't allowed to dress as Captain. Ask me about the wildfires with a $5 says, you think Lucasfilm understands how fire actually works now?
No.
No. God.
No.
Too soon? Although it does make sense now why you'd think even rocks are flammable, I guess. Wow, that's a...
Did you guys see the tweet that went viral that was asking, it had to be community noted and fucking humiliated? It was like, how come all the houses and the trees are on fire, but the roads aren't on fire?
Oh my God.
California public education.
I was like, what? What? I thought everyone knew. Okay. What? Can you imagine community noting that? All right.
Head in hand. One hand like this, just the other hand typing. Snacks with a $10 says, Gary, thanks for the Ghost Rider recommendations. Starting a collection. Mauler, you finally arrived to join the plush crew. I've got all my plushies down there and my hoodie, which I wore the other day, and it's lovely and comfortable.
Yay.
Stop healing those baby faces. Never. Good day, gents. Good day to you, sir. Grimnack with a $5 says, Mauler got my EFAP sweater, and man, is that thing comfy? Yes, it is. Also, the plushies are adorable. Cheers, Real BBC and the Fellowship.
Mine came while Metal was here, and I put it on. I was like, holy shit, that is comfy.
It is really, it is though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really comfortable.
I saw J-Mac had posted a bit earlier as well. I saw him on Twitter. His daughter's been playing with all the plushies and stuff. Very adorable. And thanks, of course, for sharing that as well. It's I'm glad it's all worked out. They make good stuff.
Krog with 100 Swedish says, around November 2023, I start watching Doctor Who as a joke. Started with the first episode to mock modern leftist fans. Turned out BBC junked 100 episodes. Anywho, last week I lost Baker and now I'm on the 5th Doctor. Oh.
Good stuff.
What do you mean as you read worse than Gary? Come on. What the fuck?
I started watching Doctor Who as a joke. Starting with the first episode to mock modern leftist fans. Do you mean you went back to the original episode?
Yeah, it sounds like you went,
to compare, I guess? And then you actually got hooked? I'm assuming that's what they're saying.
But it looks like the BBC have got rid of 100 episodes in between, so he's missed a fair bit.
Well, they famously lost a whole bunch of episodes of Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Lost for Words has been a member for 43 months. I know a bunch of Doctor Who episodes that can lose. Got him. Chat's mum with a $2 says, Terrence, microwave tea will cure what it'll...
Gary, you got to see that picture.
What picture?
She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
She is. She's the love of my life. Okay? And I'll hear no different.
Hey, can I recommend some New Dime beard oil for her? That's
what?
It's specially made beard oil.
Why would she need beard oil?
And then you get a comb with my
why would she need any of that?
Because she's got a beautiful beard. I see it.
No,
right
she hasn't.
Yes, she
what
does.
are you talking about?
Oh man, you feel that thing all the time, dude. What are you talking about?
That's a fair complexion right there, sir. That is a fair complexion. Rambling of an ADD Rider has become a YouTube member. Thank you. Got a gravy with a $50, £50, not dollar, £50, pound sterling. proper money. Hey, yo, missed you on Friday missed you like Michael Bay missed the mark with Pearl Harbor. More than Newsom dropped the ball when he cut the fire services funding. All I'm trying to say is that Pearl Harbor sucked, but not as much as Gavin Newsom.
Fuck Gavin Newsom.
Have you seen him in those interviews? He's just like wiggling from side to side.
He's like Hitler at the Olympics. He's like,
yeah,
but then, he also talks like this. So we're actually going to reallocate any funds we get through donations to Act Blue. And then we're going to hire more lesbians when we bring out the new fire department, and all of our fire trucks will be made by U-Haul.
I thought they were
moving his fucking hands like he's fucking sign languaging his own fucking speech.
I'm here to put the fire out. I thought there were 2 lesbians coming. We got divorced on the way.
We got divorced. Well, the breakup between Karen Bass and the fire chief in LA kind of checks out for a lesbian relationship. It lasted about as long as your average one. Not as many bruises or broken bones, but there's still time.
Not enough as there's more domestic violence. Never mind. Lewis G with a $10 says, given that Gary's favorite game is The Witcher 3, the trailer for the new game, The Blood of the Dawnwalker, is out. It's from the people that made The Witcher 3. Yeah, Rebel Wolves. Not the woke people at CD Projekt Red. New Superman trailer, Super Bowl. New Superman trailer probably at the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
probably.
Absolutely. No, we'll get a Fantastic Four trailer. We'll get a Superman trailer. We'll get a Thunderbolts trailer. We'll get we won't get. We might get a Captain America trailer. Another one.
Snow White.
Like every blockbuster coming out within the next 6 months will probably have some sort of teaser during the Super Bowl.
Molly, did you see the Dawnwalker trailer? Blood of the Dawnwalker?
No, I think I've seen it shared some places. So what's the dealio? Why should I have seen it?
It's a CGI sequence, but seems to have an interesting narrative behind it. It's made by the same people that made The Witcher 3, Rebel Wolves. They're also making the remake of the first Witcher game. And there is a gameplay trailer coming in summer. The CGI trailer within itself just has a good vibe, has a good atmosphere. I'm interested. Would you like to know more? That's where I am. Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? Mikey Gosler with a $5 says Neil Gaiman supported Amber Heard in the Depp Heard trial. Well.
Yes, I remember. You're right.
Well.
See these 2 right here? 3.
Oh, I got the whole run.
Yeah. I do too, but I got this for $2.
Nice.
So I had to get it. I was like, $2. Fucking A.
I was in a comic book store the other day before I came back to the UK. So a couple of weeks ago.
Lots of comic shops in Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea. It's got a good extensive range of comic books in Papua New Guinea. Yeah. And I just thought to myself, I wonder if they have Batman 479, because that was the first Batman comic I ever bought. So I went to their back issues and I was scrolling through, and they had a copy of Batman 479. Although I own it here, I wanted to pick it up. So I picked it up, £2, £2
Yep. I love that they're reprinting the retro covers, and it works for comic stores. But a lot of times, like, if they go up in value, you're seeing them sold in some places for like $14. I'm like, for some of those comics, you can actually get the originals for less.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I did buy a foil cover of Batman 607, the first issue of Hush. It's good stuff, is Hush.
Hush is good.
It's really good.
I like it, but
Gwintendo has been a
Wow,
member
he
for
said-
6
He
months.
said but and Ass didn't say anything about it.
I know. No, I just think like the fact that they have to fucking like put foil covers on like comics that came out 20 years ago to get,
Dude,
and
they've
they're outselling shit is fucking
Oh yeah,
sad.
yeah.
It's
They
sad.
re-released Batman Year One. They've re-released Crisis on Infinite Earths. They're releasing all of this stuff, and I bet you it's outselling half of the new stuff with ease.
Dude. That's fucking terrible. That's fucking terrible. It's they're cards now. That's what I was like. The variant cover thing has been going on for a very long time, but it really exploded mid 2000, like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Really started getting fucking nuts. And I'm like, they're just cards now. They're not something you read. It's not story driven. They're fucking playing cards. They're sports cards. They're not playing cards, sports cards and collectible cards. That's all they are.
Like these.
They should see comic books used to be story driven. Like people would go, I want to know more about this story. And
Yeah,
now
but they
it's
can't,
like,
they can't write a
boobies
story.
on a cover, which
They
is
can't
like
write
great,
a story.
Yeah. And believe me, boobies on a cover is better than fucking some fat dyke as a superhero. But
I'll take boobies on a cover over some fat dyke.
yeah. But
some fat insert dyke. Grim Jim with a $10 says nobody's happier today to learn about Gaiman's mischief than Todd McFarlane after their years of legal battles over the rights of the Angela character from the Spawn comics. Well.
oh yeah, yeah, there's a lot of history between McFarlane and Gaiman.
Best of mates.
Oh.
Ivan Petrescu has been a member for 25. There's no X-Ray girl to help you with my chat this time, Gary.
Is that a threat?
Probably. Aaron Paul with a $5 says Raimi Spider-Man trilogy versus Cap America trilogy, which is the most consistent. Can't go into that today, otherwise, because that's the thing we got to debate. That's a whole segment of a show.
Yeah.
But we will do that. We said we'll do
I
that.
think
We will do
ultimately
that.
we come into agreement at the end. Like we're talking about trilogy. We're talking about 3 solid movies.
Yeah. We'll do what we do. We'll put the first against the first, second against second, third against the third. That'll be a fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one when we do that. TJ's been a member for 36. So speaking of Sandman, I just came across 3 pretty large boxes of comics from the 90s and 2000s, and there's a ton of Sandman comics. Have to look through them. Graf Webb with a $2 says, for fuck's sake, cancel Disney. I have. But please do, people.
Well, now you got to cancel Fubo. Didn't they just buy Fubo?
Have you? Did you see that tweet of someone said like Fubo is the glup shitto of streaming services? And then
The glup shitto.
they collected a bunch of streaming service names, put them all in a row, and then attached a picture of Jabba, and it reads. The dialogue reads, Fubo movie free
Schlurpo.
Schlurpo. That's got to be our streaming service. Is Schlurpo.
Schlurpo, yeah. Maul and I start a podcast about Star Wars. It's the Schlurpo podcast.
First episode. Why do we do this?
Yeah, the first and last episode. What do you want to talk about? Star Wars? No, not really. Slenderman with a 24 months says, do you think Neil Gaiman accidentally created Richard C. Mayer when he wrote Neverwhere? Who's he? Who's Richard C. Mayer? Mr. Berger with a $5 is the First Lady of France.
Oh, Dick.
Did you just say
Beg
Dick?
your pardon.
I said, oh, Dick.
They
Short
said
for Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick is short for Richard.
You are what you are. Okay.
Neverwhere.
I never read Neverwhere.
Maybe.
The First Lady of France, Brigitte Macron, might be a man. Watch the grassy knoll to learn the truth on Mr. Berger. 27th of January at 8:15 Central Time. See if that chick's got a dick. Will Ploninger has been a member for 25. Will, thank you, sir. Got a gravy with a £5 says, quick aside. Can we just mention how unfortunate of a name Gaiman is? It must have gotten him plenty of guff at school. Maybe that's why he overcompensates.
Maybe.
David Gannon with a $2 says, hot take. Never been a fan of Gaiman's writing. That's fair.
Is it just me or is his Twitter handle? It just pisses. I hate his Twitter handle. It's so fucking pretentious.
What is it?
It's at Neil himself.
Oh, okay.
And maybe it's just me, but I'm like, you fucking pretentious twat. Shut the fuck up. Neil himself.
I was always a preacher man instead of a sandman. But there you go.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
That's exactly what I said earlier.
Who is that guy? He's copying you.
Yeah.
Well, nothing new.
Nothing new. Whatever. Don't even fucking start with me, sunshine. Istari Azul with a $2 says, Neil will just follow Brian Singer to Israel. Oh, no. I don't think so. Ministry of Wrong Think has been a member for 20. Says they made Lem eat his poop and she stayed with him. What is she? A Disney shill?
What?
He made them eat his poop.
Yeah. That is one of the stories, yeah.
What?
This is what I meant about like some of the stuff I was reading. I was like, I don't know if you want to read it out. It's not fun. I think it was like licking poo or something. I don't know, man.
You went all Vince McMahon on them? You can't say no as well. Lick my poop? No.
You know what? I'm gonna draw the line.
I draw the line at licking poop.
We're looking past the fact that there's like poop there. Like, why? And who produced it? And you sat there and watched it? Like,
who produced it?
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Who executive produced it?
20 people. 20 people.
Who directed it?
Like, pick a new hobby. Pick up Warhammer. Go start painting shit or something.
Yeah. Get a hobby. Dude, gardening. Something.
Yeah, man.
Hello, Massa. We already had a conversation about Captain Africa. Anyway, NDI with a $10 says, Hail as a Mauler. Gary, Landman finale thoughts and season review when?
Tomorrow
on
the
Nooner.
Nooner. Yeah, because I'm probably going to do a watch party tonight for the members because I have not watched it yet. I was going to wait and do a little watch party with the members tonight.
Mr. Berg with a $5 says, "As please review my indie cartoon, Mr. Burger goes to prison."
Mr. Boogie goes to prison. Oh,
Furburger goes to prison on the YouTube. Just 2 minutes long. Your criticism is welcome. Maybe Sunday. Do it on a Sunday fun day, afternoon tea, even something like that. One of the shows I do.
Tell me. If this is like you wake up to this next to your bed, you're like, okay, I'm going to die. Little praying baby.
Oh, God, that's demonic. What?
I just watched the X-Files episode too with the doll.
That's a goodie.
It's a fucking good one. But yeah, you see that one, you're like, oh shit, I'm dead.
Doll in a TV show, instantly creepy. NTR Uncle with a $10 says, as showed up at my flat back in 2003. He was naked, sat on the couch. I think that's meant to be, or the coach, one of the two. Looked like a pile of mashed potatoes and sour cream, so good enough to eat. He gave me some Transformers comics and left. Very odd, but not as much as getting
He didn't have to lick poo. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
Just eat the mashed potatoes.
That's a grading curve.
Yeah, that's a regular fucking weekend for me, dude. What are you talking about?
So that puts into a whole new frame of reference. You know, it's like that little disclaimer about BDSM. It's like, hey, it's not for everybody. It's not, and you're thinking whips and chains and some whatever tickling, whatever they fucking do. And it's like, no, licking poo. Not for everybody.
You can slap me backside, you can slap a titty, you can make me call you master, licking the poo-poo.
Just a step too far.
We're gonna press no. Day Triperia with a 50 arses says, sounds like stupid women making stupid choices and trying to take it back and blame others based on what I'm hearing. Something's missing in my humble opinion. I mean, the word no seems to be missing quite a bit. That's what I would say. I mean, if I was hired as a babysitter and he said, hey, could you look after the kids? £15 an hour? No problem. By the way, any chance you can lick my poop? No. Not gonna do that. Not gonna do that, okay? Oh, okay. I'll fire you if you don't. Well, I'm just a babysitter. I'll get another fucking job. So that's okay. It's fine. But you're still a weirdo. Con Radisau, the £10 says, I'm something of a Portsmouth-born author myself.
Ministry. This one has the Texas Twister in it.
The Texas Twister?
Twister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope to make a movie about the Texas Twister. Really do.
He's going to be a character on what's the Marvel Rivals tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Neil Gaiman?
Lick my poop!
Lick my poop!
Lick my poop!
Lick the shit off my poop.
Yeah, I'm going to lick the shit off your poop. Just goes around the battlefield dropping fucking steaming piles. And when you come across them, you gotta get rid of them by licking them.
Bro, you do not choose your legacy, and that is now forever. Neil Gaiman is the poop lick.
Eat my poop.
Eat my poop.
Ministry of Wrong Thing with $5 says, sick kinks, but it does sound consensual. It's important to defend even awful people until actually proven guilty, because the case law affects all men.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there seems to be a lot of bad choices made by a lot of people, including Gaiman, including anyone that licked his poop or took a bath in the fucking garden.
We just got to remember that we have to take a moment to believe all women. Okay, we need to believe all women, according to Neil Gaiman.
No.
And if we're believing all women, then he wanted a bunch of women to believe in licking his poop.
Oh, and calling him master.
The male feminist. You got to know is that his ex-wife is probably behind some of this stuff. Come on.
No comment. Nathan Cassidy with a $5 says, what I'm getting out of this is that these women, that Gaiman wasn't their man, but it was their turn with him. Regret and second thoughts is not great. I don't think that is an allegation at all. It's kind of more going into the realms of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, except Vince McMahon wasn't running around saying he was a male feminist, you know?
No, he was saying, here's $300,000.
That would I'm gonna
shit on you.
He would have done it for a wrestling bit, though.
Dude, yeah, that's the whole like that was right around the corners. Male feminist McMahon. It's so good.
I respect women.
Fucking, that would be great.
Get into the ring with some like huge buff woman beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, get Rhea Ripley in, kick the shit out of him. That's money. It's money, cash dollar money right there. Oh boy.
Oh,
Ow.
I actually watched that
the
thing
fuck
you
was
told me to. The Under the Mat, Beyond the Mat.
You on the mat? Yes.
Saved it when Metal was here, and we watched it together. It's very, very
Ooh.
good.
Yes.
It's the
What do you
realities,
think of
right?
those Mick Foley segments?
Yeah, they're rough, man. It's 'cause I've seen it quite a. I don't know why. I've seen a lot of documentaries now on wrestling, and that one's probably the one that gets most real. Like it doesn't want to hide anything.
No, it was pretty raw, that one.
Though, to be fair, I've only seen like 3 or 4. So, as I saw, obviously, I've seen McMahon, the Netflix one, which is like it's almost like a brief history of wrestling, and then some of the stuff that happened with him. I saw the Montreal Screw Job, right?
Yeah, yes.
The documentary about that. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the one I watched recently, and I don't know. It just it seems like an important documentary, that one, in terms of like letting you know the damage that gets done behind the scenes and the people behind it, and the
Yeah, that was the big eye opener, was Beyond the Mat.
Yeah,
it's great. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
I didn't know much about Mankind, and there's a lot of him in that and what he used to do, and the match he had with The Rock, where his kids are watching him. That's rough as well.
And The Rock's just smashed his head open with the chair. It's just,
yeah.
Even he's just like, I think The Rock kind of gave me a few too many in it, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah, because they talk afterward. He's like, I was trying to signal enough. And he was like, yeah, I missed that the first time. I got it the second time, or something like that, hit him with a chair. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Just repeated headshots, and it was split. It was split right open, and yeah. Jim Cornette's funny. He's an insane fucking leftist, but some of his takes can be hilarious. I tend to listen to quite a few different wrestling podcasts, apart from Dave Meltzer, because Dave Meltzer's an insane fucking retard. But apart from that, I try and get different perspectives. I listen to a little bit of Vince Russo. I listen to a little bit of Jim Cornette, a little bit of Brain's Gone Dead, WCW guy. Brain's Gone Dead, a little bit of him. Wow, why can't I remember his name? Why is my brain just gone dead?
Because you're getting old, dude.
I know, right? Somebody in chat will say Bischoff, yeah, Eric Bischoff. So I try and get different, because they all hate each. I think they all pretty much hate each other. Those guys pretty much hate each other. So it's interesting to kind of get the different perspectives. And I don't mind listening to a bit of Brian Alvarez, but Dave Meltzer's a complete fucking bellend. Another name with a $10 says that BBC article was them running interference for him. They downplayed the accusations a bunch.
Yeah, that felt really tame.
Compared to some of the stuff I've read, it felt tame.
Yeah.
As is having a stroke, you could tell. Oh, gotcha. Henry the Navigator with a 79 pounds, 79 pence. Thank you, Henry. Infinity Flair, woo, with a $5 says Gaiman may be a creep, but some of these claims sound murky. That the result when you have relations with your fans/employees, especially the nanny.
The nanny.
It's a classic.
So Gaiman had an open relationship, but this is what comes from open relationships.
Mm-hmm. How are they doing now, apart from their 5th year of divorce?
Not well.
Josh Kelsey dropping a 20. Josh, thank you so much. Anzac has become a member. Thank you, Anzac. Aussie love. Japanese Demon Lord with a $5 says Ripper reporting that Diamond has filed for bankruptcy. Boo-hoo, so sad. Yeah, we just had a bit of a chitty chat about that. Raven Black Sparrow plays with $5 says Gary came across a box of comics in my storage. A 1976 Big Book of Superman versus Amazing Spider-Man signed by Stan Lee.
Oh, shit.
Now you look to see its worth.
Okay. Depends on the condition, but that can vary from a couple $100 to maybe $1,000 based on the condition.
Nice.
And if it's just signed by Stan Lee, So yeah, it depends. I can't reach it, but I have one. I have one of those.
Rinsler lives with a $5. Says, "Hail, you guys never talked about the Spider-Man trilogy versus the Dark Knight trilogy." I think we will. Hey, it's going to be the episode after we do our top 5 Doctor Who episode.
Right after that.
Jonathan Staton with a $5 says, "We used to celebrate goodness, truth, and beauty. First, we said there is no truth. Then we questioned what is good. And now there's nothing beautiful." Oof. Profound, sir. Profound. Ryan White with a 5 Canadian says, "Why didn't the LA celebs use their superpowers to put out the fires like Megan the Stallion and Cardi B's wet ass pussy? I guess it dried up." Samuel Perez with a $5. Thank you, Samuel. Remington PRD with a $5. As when you were sick, you sounded like the narrator in Asmongold's clip videos. Who says I'm not?
My God.
Best joke from FNT in a long time.
Yeah.
Razor Fist roasted like Grace Chrissy.
Oh, Grace. Oh, okay.
And then she goes, you make me drier than an LA fire hydrant.
Wow, that's a good. It's good. It's good.
That was good.
It's good.
That was fucking good.
It's a good one. Henry the Navigator with a £5 says, "There is a 102-minute extended director cut of The Wicker Man, 1973, buried under the M3 motorway." That's a highway for you, Gary. Oh, wow.
I know.
Big Ounce with a $5 says, "Weekly Marvel."
Yeah, don't talk to me about your fucking highways in the UK. Okay, your cute little roads, your cute little fucking roads, where you have to ride around in your little fucking in your little Matchbox cars, because all your roads are made from like the 1800s and shit.
How is that an insult?
It's an insult. Your roads are fucking lame.
You just stated some history about the construction of the.
Oh, I stated some
British
history. So you ride around in these little Matchbox cars at your variable speeds. You can't go anywhere. Your fucking trucks can't carry shit. Your little lorries can't carry shit because they're so fucking small.
Tiny island.
What do we ride on the wrong side of the road, you fucking retards? Will you fucking get on the right side of the road?
Who hurt you, Gary?
Nobody. I saw Richard Hammond going, "Yeah, I really like my Ram pickup, but I can't drive it in my country. So I had to get this little Ford gay pickup."
Britain living rent free in America's head.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Whatever. I love that you guys did a car show in a country where you can't fucking drive.
It's your favorite show.
And it's my favorite show. Dude,
you okay, dude? You all right?
I'm great. You know what?
Seriously, do you want to talk?
I'm gonna hit a freeway after this show, go 80 miles an hour, not have to worry about some...
No, you're gonna get pulled over for 80 miles an hour.
No, you're not here. That's a speed
you're not
limit
gonna
here.
get pulled. You're not gonna get pulled over for 80 in the UK on a motorway.
You're not, huh? No. Okay. It's miles per hour ad.
Put a meme on the internet.
Yeah.
Big Ounce for the $5 says, "Weekly
Try to replace your toilet without asking the council. Like, let's talk about it.
I replaced my whole fucking bathroom without asking the council, mate.
Yeah, and you're gonna get arrested.
For what?
Probably what you left on the toilet.
For getting somebody to lick your poop.
No, you're not going to get arrested for having somebody lick your poop, or I don't know, drape gangs or anything, but definitely for a meme.
Okay. Big Ounce with a 5. It says, "Weekly Marvel versus DC. Elastigirl of the Doom Patrol versus Invisible Woman." Say Invisible Woman. She goes invisible and she uses her psi powers, just knocks her out.
Elastigirl of Doom Patrol versus Invisible Woman would destroy her. Utterly destroy her. Invisible Woman.
Huh.
She's really fucking powerful. She would
She'd
fucking
go invisible and then shoot her in the back of the
no.
head.
She'd just suffocate her in a bubble. That's all she'd do. She'd just keep her in a bubble, boop, and then shrink the bubble.
What's
And
Elastigirl
Elastigirl
controls
She
powers?
could take a lot. But
She can make a tit sag.
Ooh.
invisible.
Could she make them
woman.
really long, spin them around like a helicopter blade?
Yeah. Quantum Ranger power with a $5.
Yeah, that's not even close. That's not even a fair fight, to be honest with you.
Recently saw someone claim Gaiman is more popular and well known than George R.R. Martin.
Nope.
In
What was that?
1997, he was.
What was that?
Gaiman. He said that Gaiman was more popular than George R.R. Martin.
Who did?
I know some person on the Tinterweb, I guess. But the internet's full of terrible takes.
I mean, yeah, back like you said, back in the past, sure. Not now, no. And they're buddies. Like Gaiman went out and met with him about finishing his book. Well, yeah.
Palioth with a 5 says playing a small fiddle for Diamond, a mass-produced, overhyped garage can. Oh wow.
Garbage.
How's that? I know. Garbage can meant to be?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. How's that support from the target audience doing to keep you afloat? Not so good, I guess. Star Trek Affiliate with a 52. Thank you. KKK took my baby away with a $10. Cap's box office will be blamed on the LA fires.
KKK took a baby away. Took her away. They took her away.
Probably.
Great song.
Samuel Perez with a $10 says, First Soup. Thank you guys for the laughs over the last 4 years. Gary, I think it'd be awesome if you were on PBD. They were talking Acolyte today, and I felt like you could have had a great convo with them.
I'd certainly go on if they asked.
There you go.
Yeah.
Electro with a $10 says, I thought Neil Gaiman was a joke about Neil Cuckman until now. Same person. Ed Song with a $5 says, I'm curious how Sam is going to stand up to Red Hulk. He doesn't have the super soldier serum. He is going to get, he's going to crunch on contact.
He's got his super duper vibranium suit from Wakanda, the ethno state that has a wall around it. And a helmet, and he's going to be flying around with vibranium wings.
So how's that going to stop a punch in terms of just turning you into a putty?
Oh, he'll be able to take the punch. Now, I don't know if this...
up to this point they've done nothing but make sense in all of these films, just consistently. So
Yeah.
I'm very glad that we already know how they're going to make this make sense for sure.
Okay. J Mac with a $20 says it'll be fun, pretty fun, if the blue blur makes more money than the Red Hulk. I've heard more people in my day today that express excitement for Sonic 3 than this Captain America movie. It's doing okay. Sonic 3, isn't it? I think it's around 500 million, 400 million at the minute? Let's have a look. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is currently on 385 million. Depending on how bad the film could be, I would say there's a chance.
It's a chance.
I think it's gonna. I think Cap 4 is gonna do more. I think it's gonna do, like I said, about 450, 550. But if it's really bad, it could fall off a cliff. We'll see. Be interesting to see. Slight differences in budget between those two films.
Just a bit. Just a
wee bit.
Couple of dollars.
Actual fact, I'm just going to confirm Sonic 3 budget.
I see the dope panic there, and I saw
122 million.
I see the dope panic there, and Elon, a clip of Elon a couple of days ago was going around talking about one of the books that influenced him was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I saw it was great to be chatting about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on Twitter. We were debating the radio show over the book, over the LP, over Douglas Adams reading his own book, and even the live version. They're all fucking great. Every facet of that story is great, except for the fucking Disney piece of shit movie. Fuck that movie. But there's the BBC series you can watch. That's great. It's all fucking great, except for that movie.
Disaster Area with a £10 says, have you guys watched SAS Rogue Heroes? Season 1 was okay-ish, but season 2 has been pretty damn good. Paddy Main might be the best character on TV, a relentless MF motherfucker, maybe, wanting to be sent on a suicide mission. Okay. Sounds pretty good, actually. The Wolf from Heart has been a member for 19. Japanese Demon Lord with a $10 says, I think a lot of these entertainment companies really, really want to change, but they're so infected with activists, they can't without them destroying the company. There's zombies wandering aimlessly. Well, you let the wolves in the door, they're going to eat the sheep. A Marcellus with a $10 says the sequel trilogy, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Acolyte, are the holy bastardization from Disney. The death of the Skywalkers, the death of the Kenobis, Obi-Wan Kenobi's reputation, and the death of the Chosen One prophecy. Yeah, welcome to Disney Star Wars.
Death of a franchise.
Yeah.
I want to go with unholy bastardization.
Yeah, definitely. J Mac dropping a $200 super chat. Jay, that is fucking redonkulous, mate. Mola, I 100% agree. I have been showing my 11 and 7-year-olds the old movies and shows I watched when I was a kid. Big Trouble Little China, Tremors, Terminator, The Karate Kid, etc. They always seem to enjoy these movies way more than any new schlock that comes out today.
I mean, that was my experience growing up. My dad just skipped me to a whole bunch of his favorite movies all in a row, and I've said before it's almost like it spoiled me, but it didn't. But in the sense that I'd watch other stuff and be like, "This isn't as good. I don't care as much about this. This is fun." But yeah, loads of great, designed for kids content, but there's lots of really shit designed for kids content, and it gets away with it because it's for kids, which is bullshit.
Isn't it funny how as kids we're brought up on things like Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff, and now they believe that they have to create kid-targeted Star Wars and Star Trek and shit?
Yeah,
but the regular stuff, kids get plenty out of.
Yeah.
And then when you grow up, you get even more out of it. Japanese Demon Lord with another $5 says, hey, Mola, have you ever done an EFAP of the French movie Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2001? If not, why haven't you?
I have not seen it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's
a good reason why you haven't then. I haven't seen it.
It's good.
Meth Bear with a 29 month says, as you think I'll be extradited to the UK for bashing Hollywood, your cops and Kerr want to arrest US citizens who criticize monstrous predator gangs. I think you should say it more. And then I think if they try and come and get you, then I think they should play the find out of the fuck around game. Lemelieu Dagalia with a 250 Argentinian laser pistol says, hail Az and Mauler, you should totally show Gary the trailer for Blood of the Dawnwalker. It's been made by the ex-CD Projekt Red employees, including the director of The Witcher 3. I'm fucking excited. I would, but Gary wouldn't give a shit. So
I think he would. If it's like a cinematic trailer, that's you can treat that like anything.
It is a cinematic trailer. We are up against time. It is a 3-minute trailer. It'd probably get copyrighted. Do I want to go through all that? Not really. But do check it out, Gary. The Dawnwalker, Blood of the Dawnwalker. You can catch on Twitter. You can catch it on YouTube. Is it a full moon tonight? Excuse me.
Why? Are you about to have your period?
Oh, I see. It looks like a full moon over there through my window.
That's no moon. That's a space station.
That's a space station.
There's a big sphere that shoots lasers.
It's looking pretty gorgeous out there. And then the same person with another 250 laser pistol says, oh, by the way, Gary, told my X-ray girl that you told me to go forth and multiply with her. So she told me that the blessing and approval of one old gay nerd from Texas was exactly the push she needed. Hail and good night. I think he's getting laid.
Okay.
Well, only until Gary approves.
Okay.
I do not approve. I do not approve.
Draven73 with a 4-month membership. Thank you. And Sonny Klein with a 53 months. Thank you, Sonny. Ed Song with the $10 says, I'd like a chance to honor the true hero of Westeros, Tywin Lannister. He bred all the admiral's wives in one night to make sure the crown had the ships they need to fend off. Wow. The black.
That's what they're called in the show. That's what they're called.
Okay.
On the story.
I just thought he went really racist at the end. What color are the aided clock with a $10 says, I know I've already asked this of Gary, but which do you prefer? White skin poison ivy, like the animated series, or green skin poison ivy, like in the Arkham games? Personally, white skin poison ivy.
I like green skin.
Any preference, Morley?
The thing is, Arkham games. I'm trying to remember because like I didn't only play them recently.
She's got like the purple shirt on, and purple blouse, and she's green. I
would be inclined to guess that I would prefer with the white skin because it's more of a contrast with the green effects she'll have on, be it clothes or like vines and stuff. But I probably like both.
Health Minister of Belgium, that is true at one point as well. With a $2 says, as let's mate. I'm very flattered, but I'm taken. Very flattered, but I am taken.
She would clearly eat you after she was done.
Or would I eat her? Who would get there first? Big Worm has been a member for 45. Thank you. Dearest with a $2 says Captain Picard drinks microwave. God damn it. Rudy with a $2 says Newsom's a stereotypical cartoon politician villain. He's fucking Patrick Bateman. Caroline Smith with a $5 says, what's the best advice you have for a comic book story writing for beginners? Have something to say.
Don't watch Neil Gaiman's masterclass on comic book writing.
No.
Don't take a bath in the middle of a garden.
Read lots of comic books and write what inspires you. Read lots of comic books.
Yeah, put down all your ideas, all that, and get a book, like a blank book. And then every time you have an idea, write it down, play with them. See where the ideas go, see what it could lead to. But any thought that you have, get it written down. Don't be like, oh, I'll put that down later, and then you forget what it is. You're like, shit, I had this really good idea for. So every time you've got a good idea, make sure that you've got access to just get it down, even if it's very brief. And then at least when you read it, you'll be like, oh yeah, then you can elaborate on it. See where that goes,
dude. We need to bring back like Viking space gods who have like Uzis and ATVs. Like that's
Woo!
You can't see it there, but there's like the Viking space gods with like guns and ATVs. That's fucking awesome. We need to bring that back. That's what's missing.
I see them at the bottom.
Yeah.
Magical Pixie Horse with a $5 says, would you agree that your DEI hiring practices video applies to the way the Californian fires are being handled? Oh, dude, I think the Californian fires have done wonders for DEI in as so much as people wanting to get rid of it. Remember that woman, that fat fucking ugly lesbian who said that if a man is trapped in the fire, he got in the wrong place.
By the way, this is just
Yeah.
found out. You know, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the game.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, the end of it, being like the latest content update they've had or whatever, has revealed the Arkhamverse Batman who was executed by Harley Quinn on a bench in that game was in fact a clone and was not the real one.
Uh-huh.
So they just killed everybody else.
It's so fucking like, who the fuck cares? Get out of here.
Was Flash who got peed on, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they pee on Flash?
Yeah, pissed on
That's
Flash's corpse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know that they've gone. They're already working on a new Batman game.
So fucking embarrassing. It'd be like, guys, it was a clone, actually. Do you
Nobody
like
cares.
It now? Do you like this
No.
Please come back. Please come back,
It's
Chuds.
done. They're not. They're stopping. That's it. There's no more. No more support for the game. It's done. It's over now.
That's just a fuck you. Like, as far as I'm concerned, get out. Go away.
Get out. Yeah. Rook takes Rook with a $5. Says my grandparents had Daredevil 1 in their basement, but it got lost in a move. It makes my stomach hurt thinking about it.
Ouch.
Dude, I was in a marketplace once when I'd first started collecting comics, and all I was doing was collecting Batman comics. And I was sifting through these boxes, and he had all kinds of stuff. And he had a Hulk #3, and I just put it to one side. Carried on looking for the Batman. I thought I could have probably picked. He probably would have sold it to me for like £5.
Oh. You know,
Because he just like looked at the number of comics I got and then counted them. Just went, I don't know, tenner.
Those first Hulks are hard to get. Hard to get. I've been looking for a second #1 in a lower grade everywhere for my kid and just can't find the right price right yet.
Nina Wesley with a $5 says, would any of you classify Deadpool as a gag character?
Depends what that means.
Yeah,
yes, very much so. He breaks the fourth wall. He's very popular with merchandise. There was a good comic book run with Joe Kelly back in the day and Emma Guinness. I like that one, but Deadpool's a fucking gimmick. Yes, 100%.
Matt, okay, with a $2 says, hey, Az, what are your thoughts on Shockwave? Love him. It's one of my favorite Decepticons, one of my favorite Transformers. It's got such a unique look. I love the way that he's essentially, he was the one that looked after Cybertron for fucking millions of years.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron Klein describes it best. He didn't start out that way, but he became that, kind of like Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is exactly. She's now just a gimmick.
Yep,
a gimmick character. So yeah, love me Shockwave. Absolutely love the guy. Did he die in Transformers the movie? You can't prove it. Objectively, a cat has been a member for 19 months. Randy G with a €20. By the way, I also watched Transformers the movie again today. Gary,
what?
I not only watched Transformers 1, but I watched Transformers the movie before I watched Transformers 1.
Okay, the 86.
Yes.
Oh, that's the GOAT, dude.
Yeah. That's the trauma right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's
the old Yeller for Generation X.
Oh god, yeah.
That's what it is.
Dude, I loved Wheeljack from the cartoon, and just seeing him killed off screen in his dead body there, you're just like,
what the fuck?
What
is this?
The fuck?
I thought you were trying to sell toys.
Gary Cobra Guy is still a cock up. Episode 8, Snakes on a Plane rips off Rocky 2, and an impossible 6,000-mile plane trip in 24 hours. You were right about JMS, as I read up. From 1967 to 2007, Spidey was loved. Marvel killed him.
Yep. Was a headshot, man.
Origigonton with a 16-month membership. Thank you. The Little Knight with a $10 says, hello, gents. Been waiting to ask this, but keeping missing the streams. Hope you're all doing good. What your thoughts on Transformers 1? I didn't like it very much, but what do you fellas think? I gave my brief overlook today. I'll talk about it more in depth on Sunday. Morla and Gary haven't seen it.
I'm probably not going to see it.
Ministry of Wrong Think with a $2 says doo-doo, more like don't, giggity. Men are speaking with a $5. Damn right, yeah. Do you guys remember that famous BDSM scene in Ron on Burgundy? I don't. Gavin Free Non with a $5 says couldn't at least be tipple twisting. No, had to be the poo poo. Beast 8 of 8. I wish you could put some sand on that fucking poo poo.
Had to be the poo poo.
Had to be the poo poo. The Beast 808 with a 25 months says aloha and blessings, gentlemen. As a Morley, gotta watch Taker and Mankind review Hell in a Cell. Great watch. Oh, would you be up for that, Morley?
Sure. I mean, I can't offer a huge amount of insight though. Like,
no, I mean, just if we just watch the match and record it as watching the match and talking.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, we'll sort something. I know he's very busy, but we'll sort. That'll be fun to do, I think. Also, 6 Feet Under is a great wrestling podcast. Thanks for everything. Hail the Fellowship and the 199. Thank you, the Beast. Love you, dude. Legalize adulthood, dropping a 20 gifted memberships to the Saga. Lovely Sausage Man. Love you, Sausage Man. Tyrannus Cygnus with a $5 says, why can't it just be Captain Falcon America? Because it's Captain African American.
They stole Falcon from him.
Yeah. To give it to a Mexican.
Give it to some guy who no one knows anything about. Like, thanks.
Legalize adulthood with $100 as well. Says Gary and Az, did you ever read Mike Barron's Nexus? I did not know. There's a new floppy series that started in December. No Steve Rude art, unfortunately. Screams for the bankers as he dances up and down on Diamond's Chapter 11 grave singing Hallelujah. I know, such a shame, eh? You ever read it, Gary?
Nexus, back in the day, yes. Mike Barron art was awesome, and I got a copy of that newer book. I haven't read it yet, though.
Okay.
I did get a copy of that newer book.
Mad Dog 316 UK has been a member for 56. Thank you, sir. Jens has been a member for 60. Thank you, Jens. That is fucking unbelievable. 5 fucking years. Ed Song with a $5 says, Gary, did you hear about the probably fake story of the siblings that had sex because they thought they would die in the Californian fires?
That is not a reason. What? That reminds me of fucking Angel, the Cordelia Garnet.
Oh,
because there's fire everywhere. They're like, well, we better have sex. It's like, no. That's like, that would be as weird as being like, well, I've never licked poo and I'm about to run out of time.
I know.
Do you have a bath in the
like
garden?
It's like an airplane. Well, I've never been with a man before.
There's a queue of them. Craigie, and it's the same story every next man that comes along. You see that OnlyFans girl did a 1,000.
Why is there an Olympic fucking feat now of doing that? What the hell? Oh.
Well, have fun with vaginal warts.
Oh, I mean, she just when she did the 100 thing, she got STDs from that. And then a couple of weeks later, she's like 1,000. Yeah, he averaged out at like 41 seconds a guy.
Ladies, you did it. Ultimate empowerment.
Absolutely.
Well done.
You will be, or
you
if not already
raise
forgotten,
kids and have meaning in life, and you just want to get hold 1,000 times.
For what? She's going to be forgotten in a day, and she's going to be forgotten in a day.
cum
And,
bucket or cum dumpster,
cum
cum
dumpster.
crater.
Oh. She's so big of a cum crater. She's the cum crater that killed the dinosaurs.
She's
The Grand Canyon.
She's the singularity.
She's a black hole.
Yeah.
She's sucking everything in. Vile.
Like CERN can't even deal with her.
Criggy's been a member for 34 months. Criggy, thank you. DD Gamer's been a member for 6 years. Supposedly, Disney are being sued over plagiarism and theft of the Moana storyline. Also, keep up the great work, guys. Thank you. Boobies. These things are very hard to prove.
Yep.
Frank Hall has been a member for 36. Thank you. And Dennis with a 50 Swedish says, do kids these days even have anything to be excited about? Franchises and games are all old. My students age 12 only watch pre-2008 movies like Spy Kids. Good on them.
That is something that struck me, actually, in terms of a lot of the franchises. It's got to feel weird to live in a world where it's not changing, rolling, moving forward, new things, perpetually. Because I think I saw like some highlight of someone playing a Call of Duty game, and I was like, oh, which one's that? Because I've fallen off track in them, and it was like Black Ops 6. It's like, Black Ops 6? How the fuck did that happen? It just reminds me of the joke in Back to the Future 2, where it's like Jaws 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it just feels like everything's on a loop culturally, and it sucks.
Right?
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, but they're probably watching better stuff, certainly, that's being produced today. And that brings us up to, oh God, just as soon as I did that, John Ray 3000 fan fiction or fiction with a $5 says Captain Falcon American instead of Captain African American. That's racist. It's a statement. It's truth. He's Captain African. He's an African American captain. Yeah, it's a statement of truth. It's Jaws 19 apparently.
Oh, 19.
I did the $100. I did the $100 from Legalized Adulthood. I did that. I'd never miss Legalized Adulthood. No way, sir. No sorry, sir. No sir. No sorry. No, he's a lovely sausage. Gentlemen, as Jens Anderson of the Tour Rise has been a member for 44 months. Thank you. Anything that you'd like to plug before we go molly?
Just the usual stuff, open bar and EFAP and getting on with everything, working away now that metal's gone and back to full power, just working on stuff. Can't wait to release things, but it's coming. Stuff being worked on.
Gary.
Released a video yesterday about the Zuck and the cultural shift. How do we sort out the liars? Then Nerdrotic Nooner with, I know, right? So much of it is bullshit, but
yeah, just fucking Cuckerberg can go fuck himself up the ass. The fucking collaborator. Drag him in the street, shave his head like they did with the French women.
Shame.
Bro, yeah, like I scratched the surface on, I just gave you a few points of like why you shouldn't believe this guy. Okay. He's got to earn it. All these people have to earn it. If they do an apology tour for 5 years of sustained integrity, I think is part of a redemption arc. That's acceptable.
I know that I've been working with the Nazis and, dealing with people in the concentration camps. But since we lost the war, I suddenly decided that, you know something?
I got the clip. He said, we took the cultural pulse and we decided we better get out in front of this shit or they're going to be investigating me. I mean,
he did say that. Like,
pretty much said that.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
He doesn't believe in anything himself. He's just like,
gotta
move.
He's a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah. So that's that. And I'll be on with Frank Gore tomorrow, fire correspondent. Maybe he's still in Orange County because his water was not drinkable. He couldn't even take a shower in it. The water was contaminated in a fucking American. in the second largest American city. The water was contaminated in fucking Pasadena. That's your leadership, folks. One of the highest tax places on the planet. It's unfucking believable. So we'll be talking to Chris. Chris also has some insight on Neil Gaiman. He's interviewed him before for Film Threat, so we'll probably discuss that a little bit. But thanks for having me on. It's nice to be like back in a normal, real BBC. Az is back from Paprika Bikini, and Mahler's Play Day is over, and my kids are out of the house, and it's kind of empty. Sad. Not really.
Fuck you. What the fuck is up with you today? Gary, do you want after the show? Do you need a talk, man? Do you need a talk?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm actually
guys and gals, I'm working on this this Dragon Age / Western gaming industry video. I need to wait till my voice is fully recovered, otherwise the audio is going to be so inconsistent throughout. But I can still do background work. So I hoped it would be the end of January, might leak into February, but it's coming as soon as it possibly can. So in the meantime, I'm gonna probably fill things up with some little videos, just little videos for the channel. I got a video that I want to do tomorrow, just talking about a thing. And we'll see how that one goes down for you. Also, ripping the silverback tomorrow. Sunday afternoon tea with Az, and Sunday fun day, and then a week on Saturday. But I'll remind you next week. A week on Saturday is my special birthday bash stream, where we will have guests, and I'll leave it at that for now. Oh,
is that Sunday?
That's a week on Saturday.
A week from Saturday, or this Saturday?
January the 25th. A week on Saturday.
Okay. A week on Saturday.
So
I don't
not
even
this
know.
Saturday. This Saturday.
You can just say on Saturday whatever the date is. I don't know what a week on.
I just did.
I don't know what a week on means.
Also, the audience knew exactly the date. They're putting it in the chat for you, Gary.
I understand that part. I understand.
You want to
Saturday
talk?
25th.
Do you want to have a chat after the stream? Are you okay, bud?
Fucker.
Do you smell toast?
Oh, you mean a week from this coming Saturday, which means on the 25th, not a week on. A week on a day doesn't make any fucking sense. You mean a week on beyond that, then a week
okay,
from.
So if it makes no sense,
I'm American.
A week
okay?
on Saturday.
You need to speak English.
If it's a week on Saturday, then what would it be? It'd be a week on Saturday. So that would be the Saturday.
That would be like a week landing on a day of Saturday. I have no idea what that fucking means. A week from Saturday.
British has broken Gary. Yes, it has.
What? Yeah, you
Massive
guys are doing really great out there now.
I need a poo.
Are you gonna lick it?
No.
I'm gonna get the nanny to do that. Massive. Hold on. There's a couple more. SJ Almighty with a £1 for the diamond geezer super sticker. Thank you. Hyro Kami with a £10 says he's African American, just like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Correct. Just slightly more melanin. Sonny Klein also with a £1 fiddy super sticker of a hot dog. So massive thank you to everyone who came to watch today. Moderators, thank you very much indeed for giving up your free time. Everybody who super chatted, membered, remembered, gifted memberships, thank you for supporting the channel. Coco. We'll be back next week. Do we have Graham Nolan on the next week?
Yes, we have Graham Nolan on next
week.
With
Graham Nolan.
With Graham.
Coming to join us to talk shit about shit.
Neil Gaiman. He's going to talk all kinds of shit about Neil Gaiman.
Come join us. We promise that'll absolutely happen, and he'll spill the tea. All of the tea.
It's got all the secrets.
Graham's like, wait, what? What the fuck are you just doing?
What are you talking? I never talked to that fucking
I've never met the guy in my life.
Guy's a bit. No.
Until then,
You guys
take
are poop
care, everyone.
licker.
Bye for now.
Good way to end. Bye.